Alright. Everything looks alright. Well, the question is, what to do? Yo, do you ever open OBS and press on start streaming without a plan? That's me right now. That's happening. That's what's happening right now. Hello, Raiden. Especially since the rift is happening right now, so I can't even like do that, I guess. Hello, Shy. Hello, hello. Now, here's the conundrum today, right? So, I've already run my 63 dungeon runs. I'm out of energy on my ults. I do have a bit of energy left on my main, but I'm keeping it for next week. Can you do a daily, weekly guide on quests and content to do? T-Zuzu, I was about to talk about that. I was about to talk about that, yeah. I do have some plans for the video. It's just that I'm waiting for the 22nd for a lot of these, because we have no fucking idea what's gonna happen on 22nd. Like, it's gonna be a big patch. It's gonna be so big, in fact, that they fucking skipped this week, right? So, yeah. But yeah, here's the thing, right? I'm out of energy. I can't run dungeons anymore, right? I could run some Transcendence on the main, but I can't really do that because I do need to... I have like 600 energy, I think. Like 400, yeah. I have 400 extra energy that I'm keeping for the next week's dungeon because we are not given enough energy per week to run all 35, so you need a bit of leftover, so I'm keeping that, right? Big how? Why you think so? So, the 22nd is going to introduce a new dungeon. We already know that it's going to introduce like a major balance patch across every class. It's going to be a major overhaul of every class. That we know for sure, right? Both in PvE and PvP. It's going to change the entire balance of synergy. It's going to change the gameplay of a lot of classes, right? So that's coming. And also we know that they're going to reflect on the feedback they've gotten directly from players during the conference they had. And they're going to be covering that during the live stream as well, right? So yeah, the patch next week is going to be quite major. But yeah, right now, so the initial plan for today, right, that I kind of wanted to go over, I just simply wanted to, number one, finish my holes, but I ended up just doing it earlier today. But number two, I wanted to do some PvP, right? But I have come to a realization, right? So, you guys know how they had an oopsie whoopsie with the rankings last season, right? Where people abused oversights in Ascension Trial and Subjugation and so on and so forth to start the dungeon early. People were getting pilot runs on Transcendence. And people were AP training in the Abyss, so on and so forth, right? And we had that whole like stuff happen where they just handed out the max rank to everyone. Well, I realized something today, which I initially didn't realize. Season 3 has no rank rewards. The title are empty, they do not give actual stats, and there's no other rewards. So all of the reward that we get for Season 3 is a cosmetic title, and that's it, right? So the whole shtick behind grinding Arena, as well as grinding Abyss ranking, kinda goes out the window, because why waste resources doing these, right? Especially with the current state of the balance, right? So I'm just kind of sitting here and I'm like, huh, what do I do for the rest of the week, actually? Because again, I'm out of dungeons, right? I've done all of my seasonals already. Yeah. All my weeklies are done, right? All my weeklies are done. With the exception of killing people in Old Guard, but problem is these motherfuckers don't rift. So there's that. I am missing one world boss gift for a platinum medal, which I will be doing probably after stream for the 1 AM hours, right? And when it comes to PvP, obviously we are matched against you still right now, so open world PvP is not the most fun, and there's not really much of a reason to grind the rank. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm sitting right now. I hope they remove dungeon cap. We don't like energy daily caps on dungeon in the West. I mean, that's just common with MMOs though. I don't see it getting removed, although I do see the system perhaps changing a bit. Because right now we're just missing energy, right? Like the big thing right now is we are missing energy. Because you can technically run the 35 expedition dungeons, right? But then you can't run the 28 transcendence because you're just out of Odell energy, right? So either they need to let go of the Odell energy system and just let us run every expedition and every transcendence every week if we so desire to, right? Or they need to, you know, give us more. They've been giving energy every week in their live stream. Yeah, but it's not enough. It just isn't enough. Even with the energy they give us, right? And even with the energy we get from events, from battle passes, because like, look, they have, now they're doing this fuck ass energy pass, right? They're doing this garbage, right? Even if you do this, that's still not enough energy. You know what I mean? And like, why have this when we're already paying an extra sub to be able to run extra dungeons? Like, what give, you know? Now, that being said, you can look at this and be like, oh, then just stop paying for the second sub then. And to that I say, yeah, actually. Because if you don't pay for the second sub, and you can only use 40 Odil per dungeon, then all of a sudden, you can actually run every expedition and every transcendence. But then you might as well just run a half and half, right? But then it doesn't make any fucking sense. So something needs to give, right? And I'm actually thinking about letting go of the second sub personally, because it just doesn't give you anything right now. The only thing that it gives you is the extra chest in Sanctuary, I guess. But then it's like, bro, who gives a shit? You're not getting anything out of Sanctuary anyways. You know what I mean? Did I have Bicrons in Season 2? Oh, you mean these? No. Season 2 only had the titles. But the titles in Season 2 actually did something, right? Like, I had the Abyss title on, right? But the Season 3 titles don't give anything. They don't give stats. They have no stats, right? Like, you can see better here. There's no stats on those titles. So it's purely cosmetic. Oh no, SM still run out of energy? Yeah. I hope they don't ever add them back so I can be a greedy little twat. Yeah, I don't... The thing is, right, is they are facing a bit of a conundrum, right? Because they are facing the reality that you can't really put good rewards in your ranking stuff in an MMO, because people will always take the path of least resistance to get your ranking shit, right? This is precisely why you cannot have grindable rankings that actually give you something. Unfortunately, right? It's always like this. It is always like this. People abused it in Season 1, people abused it in Season 2, and unless you can enforce bans on those people, then just don't have it in-game, right? So, just need to punish the cheaters. Yeah, but see, that's the thing. When they... and Halo Spine. When they came out on the live stream at the end of Season 2, and they announced that they were just going to forego the ranking rewards for Season 2 and just give everyone the top rewards, they pretty clearly said that there's just too many fucking people that did it. And if they start handing out bans, they are absolutely certain they're going to ban innocent people that are going to get caught in the crossfire because of the nature of the content, right? And that's why they just gave up. So I mean, I think they can still have something like that, right? Like they could just give us a, I guess like a battle pass. I'm not talking about the, you know, the paid battle passes, right? I'm not talking about this, right? I'm talking like about a track or something. So each content type, and just give rewards like this, and like make the bar pretty low. Essentially, kind of like the Deathbringer event, right? That we had in 9.1. You pay people to do their job, investing in case by case basis. Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I don't work for NCSoft. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's difficult for them to do that. But either way, me personally, as a player, I'm just facing this and I'm like, what do I do? And this is the conversation I want to have with you, chat, right now. Like, this is why I'm streaming today. I'm probably still gonna do something today, right? I'm probably still gonna do a bit of PvP, so on and so forth. Just you know, because it's content and it's fun and so on and so forth. But I just want to ask you guys, like, what the fuck do I do, right? Because technically speaking, I ran out of content like Friday, right? But I still want to stream regularly, but it's like, what the fuck do I do, man? what do I do? Because, okay, let's say they, on the 22nd, they significantly improved PvP, right? They actually made it more fun. And my class is not hot garbage against half the roster anymore. And so on and so forth, right? If there's no season rankings and AP is still capped, bro... What gives? Pretty heavy-handed changes, but they won't make them. I mean, I guess we'll see on the 22nd, right? What's happening on 22nd? Global? No. The 22nd is going to be a major patch. It's going to be a class overhaul patch, both in PvE and PvP, like major game mechanic change, synergy change, so on and so forth. It's also going to be a content patch, new dungeon, new content, so on and so forth. And they're also going to go over... there's likely going to be a lot of like minor quality of life and additions, so on and so forth, because they had a player meeting like a few weeks back, I guess it was like a week back, where they took feedback from players and they said they basically skipped last week's maintenance to focus on this next maintenance. Specifically naming that they want to be able to provide an answer for every question that they got asked. So yeah, that's what's going on the 22nd right now. Time arena to rage bait yourself. See, that's the thing, Stash. I actually queued a few arena earlier today because I was like, I just wanted to see what was going on in arena. And I actually just kept winning. And I'm 1700, I'm rank 1 Cleric right now. But here's the thing, do you know why I'm the rank 1 Cleric? Because no one's fucking doing arena. That's the other problem. There's no rank rewards for arena anymore. And arena in itself doesn't give you anything. So the queues are pretty long and you keep meeting the same people. That's basically what's happening with arena right now. Need to revert the infinite speed bullshit. I mean, yeah, that is a given. Hopefully we see some of that, right? And that's another thing, by the way, that I came to realize is that the problem is that I do need a bit of a carrot right now to be able, you know, to enjoy playing the game. I need some sort of like end goal and reward, because inherently with the gameplay, I'm so handicapped by my ping that it's pretty hard to really enjoy the content in itself just because of the ping in itself, right? Because I'm not really able to improve my DPS in PvE. I'm not really able to have like proper PvP matches, right? Because of the ping, because of the way the game works inherently with ping scaling and so on and so forth, right? So yeah, another game. I don't really want to stream another game though. That is the thing. I do want to like keep up with this game for now. But yeah, like right now, I'm just being dead ass with you. I'm out of dungeons. That's it. That's all the dungeons for this week. I've done everything, bro. I even did all of my nightmares. Dude, do you guys realize what it takes for me to actually run nightmare? I never do that shit. Like, I never do nightmare, and I still fucking did it, right? So yeah. So yeah, I'm still going to be doing some PvP tonight, and that is the reason why I waited until tonight to run the stream, because obviously with the still matchmaking, PvP is unplayable in the middle of the day, right? It's still probably going to be unplayable right now, but at least it's going to be more breathable. Chigo, see, that's the funny thing. I actually started doing Shugo today because I was just staring at my screen and I was like, what the fuck do I do? And well, I got through a couple, I guess. Nightmare, you mean right mouse button spam simulator? They remove the 10 level stuff. Honestly, like, yeah, they need to remove the 10 level. Like, the only interesting fight every time is the last one. Genuinely, right? Like, all of this is just like filler. It's kind of like garbage filler. It was thing is so shit. I mean, yeah, like ultimately I came into the game knowing that the ping was going to be problematic, right? And it's not I'm not really like complaining about the ping or anything. Like, I'm able to play the game just fine. It's just that if I don't have anything to grind, then I need to, you know, set up personal goals, right? And when it comes to PvE, I can't really like get much better DPS wise because the ping is really cucking me, and same with PvP, right? So yeah, I'm just explaining the baseline as to where I'm at right now. Like, I'm not complaining about it. I'm not saying that, you know, like that's it, the game's over. No, I'm just saying that, yeah, like right now I'm just a bit out of shit to do. But yeah, and then the other thing that I wanted to talk about is in regards to YouTube videos, right? So I do have a couple of videos I want to make. The main problem that I have is I keep running into the problem that I just write down the video and then I get started to recording it and I'm like, yeah, but what's the point of making that video considering next week is probably going to change most of what I'm talking about right now? Because when I'm looking at the guides that I made, like just a few weeks ago, right? Like, I made an Abyss gearing guide, I made an old guide, like I made a bunch of guides like that, right? And all of these guides are already outdated, right? So yeah, I'm not quite sure what to do, whether I just keep like going the full you know, written script route, like keep working hard on these videos for them to be outdated like 2 weeks later, or if I just say fuck it, I do like slightly less scripted videos and then just fix it in post or something. I'm honestly, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to try that. Yeah, maybe I'm going to try to make a couple of videos where I just go over a topic without necessarily like having a script written down. Is there a fix for ping problem? I mean, there is, and indirectly, right? Now, obviously, ping in a game like this with no GCD is always going to be problematic, right? The main thing with this game is that a lot of skills straight up have no animation locks, like none. Or like very small ones that are humanly impossible to weave in unless you have zero ping and you're using like keyboard macros, right? Like, it's all about the animation lock and the attack speed. That's all about this, right? But the thing is, since the game came out, they have been speeding up animations and removing locks left and right and center. And we have kind of reached a point where some classes are literally able to launch 20 attacks in 1 second. And you think I'm kidding? I'm not. Right now, Assassin is literally able to launch 20 attacks a second. If you have a zero ping Assassin with capped attack speed buffed up, they're going to be able to launch like that much. Anyway, you will cry about these people being animation hacker. Yeah. Like, basically, think of the way animation works in this game as if you encountered an assassin in Iron 1 that was actually animation hacking. But that's just the default game, right? So yeah, obviously that's something that I hope they will address. A full sync party, all you need. I mean, right now, kinda, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like, if you have a group of juiced up assassins with 0 ping, you can just kind of roll over the game, yeah. I mean, bro, like 50 million hard goals a second, like your full life permanently. You know what I mean? There can be animation hackers if you can have 0 animation in the first place. Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing as Final Fantasy 14 being like, bro, we won't have to give a shit about RMT if our economy doesn't fucking matter in the first place, right? It's the same approach, I guess. But yeah, I mean, either way, that's kind of where I'm standing right now. And yeah, like with this season 3, obviously we have a content drop next week, right? So who knows what's going to happen next week. Also, beyond the content drop and beyond the class updates, I do hope they will go back and address the dungeon entry problem. Because what game is this? This is Iron 2. Because with the nerf of ults, obviously we have less to do, right? Because we don't have to run ults anymore. But it means we run out of shit to do much faster. So if they don't want us to run as many ults, they need to give us significantly more energy in our main to be able to run both expeditions and transcendence. Because right now, like, this is not acceptable. It just simply isn't enough. It just isn't enough. And I think if you play the game right now, you're probably noticing it. There's a lot less people running around this week, especially on the second half of the week, because people just run out of shit to do, and then they don't even want to grind in the Abyss or grind arenas because it doesn't give ranking rewards anymore. Now, obviously, it did get rid. I mean, it didn't even like get rid of the people like kill trading and everything. Like, these guys are still here. I mean, you just have to take a look at the fucking Abyss ranking, brother. Like, yeah, like you just have to take one tiny look. I've never seen this fucking guy in my life. So, and he has fucking 36 million ranking point. Dude, he gained 1 million ranking point this last hour. Please enlighten me. I just went to the Abyss, I didn't see you, brother. I know you answered, my brain just didn't process what you said. Could you repeat? It's Ion 2. If you're unsure of the spelling, you can just like click on my channel. Like all of the videos I upload have the name of the game at the beginning of it. But yeah, at least the fact that there's no actual ranking rewards anymore, like, make these guys not matter, right? It's one way to fix it, I guess, but it does, like, the thing is, right, if they do stuff like that with the ranking, they need the content in itself to have more, to give more, right? I've run out of energy and reward count Thursday. Yeah, 2 days from now. Yeah. Exactly, and like the thing is obviously I'm running out a bit slower because I'm not necessarily able to play as much right now, especially because of like content creation and so on and so forth. But yeah, I mean, if you're locked the fuck in, you can probably run out of things to do like day 2 or day 3, and that's kind of a shame. Now, the counter argument is I could still be running dungeons on my ult, right? With the Kina diminishing return hitting, I could do like, I think 30 more runs until I hit the 0%. As he is just killing bots. I mean, bro, there's not enough bots to make 1 million ranking point in an hour. I'm gonna be honest. Especially since most of the people like running in like as a group, right? You send that shit in a day easy. Maybe not in a day, right? If you account for absolutely everything. I mean, look, if you clock in like early morning and you run the entire day, probably, yeah. But I mean, it just adds insult to injury about Arena, where Arena doesn't give you any rewards and also doesn't have ranking rewards. What is the point for this? You know what I mean? Like, why does it even exist at this point? That's my question to you. Why does this exist? Like, dude, I even manually run through like 30 dating dungeons. Because I had fucking nothing to do. Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Because we used to have too much, now we have a bit not enough, right? We have too little. Hopefully, they can meet in the middle with the upcoming patches. Because, like, right now, like, this is, yeah. It's not ideal. Now, with that said, just remove energy, I wish. I wish they removed the energy, and I wish they removed the AP cap at this point. Because if you remove the AP cap, then I'm gonna do PvP, you know what I mean? Like... AP doesn't necessarily have infinite, like, utility, but at least I would be able to buy consumables and mana stones. Like, I would legitimately just grind my own fucking mana stones to suck in my PvP gear, if I could, right? Even if you put a weekly cap on these, like, I don't care, just do something, right? And then I would be able to farm stigma shards as well. Like, I already bought both fucking pairs of wings. I bought the wings, I bought all of the asphalt, like... And obviously, like, buy out like the Canis pieces to get closet stuff, right? But you know what? Actually, they should just like have this infinitely scale and just like require like more and more and more AP and just remove the AP cap. Like, imagine if you had to spend like 500k per board, but you had uncapped AP. Dude, I would be slamming that shit all day. I would be capping my asphalt ball with this, legit. Even if it took me like weeks of PvP grinding, I would be doing it. As far as the video go, one type of video, daily adventures. Oh yeah. Well, I don't necessarily know about that, although I was thinking about doing like build update videos. Instead of like making a build guide, it's just like running through what I currently have and what my goals are in regards to my build, right? And it would both be educational and would also like open a conversation that I'm curious about. So I think that is one that I'm actually going to be making soon enough. Gamma devotion runes? Yeah, exactly. I hope they just remove these caps at this point, yeah. There's just no reasons for them to exist anymore. White Gladiator deserves a buff. I'm going to ban you. Only 96 1-star officer above on the karma. Well, that is another problem entirely, though. Well, let me go to the Abyss, I guess. I'll roam for a bit. I'm gonna grind the rankings, even though... I mean, I guess one thing I could do is just farm mobs in the Abyss, but that is no stream content. I'm not gonna do that shit. Nobody wants to see me do that. You know what I mean? Also, I need healing pots. There we go. But it's a slippery slope, right? Because I don't want them to go the throne route, where they just patch content out of the game to the point where there's just fucking nothing to run anymore. Dude, I don't have the fucking key for this. I've gotta be. I should have crafted them. Wait up. We have a dude fucking 10k each. Come on, just do vlogs. HP for like a month and I'll keep putting in to get more. Yeah. I mean, realistically, I could probably just be like functioning on regular healing potions for the most part, right? It's just, you know. You need the Abyss Potential Stones. Yeah, but here's the thing with the Abyss Potential Stone, and that is another thing about this game, by the way. The thing with the Abyss Potential Stones and those types of system in general is every time they add shit like this and it's a grind, you know for a fact they're going to make it easier to farm down the line. You know for a fact they're going to add them to like seasonals and shit like that, right? Like that, it's a given, right? So why bother? Brother. It's like, why farm now when if I just wait like maybe like 2 weeks, it's gonna be free to farm. Hey, look, this guy's just regenning on mobs. Yippee! Who decided energy systems MMO is a good idea? Should never be allowed in front of computer again. I mean, it's energy systems are basically just. It's basically just cooldowns, right? It's just cooldowns basically. It's just a different way to do cooldowns. Yeah, just Gladiator holding down one button and doing 5k per hits. Or we'll get batch crafting. Yeah, for real though. For real. Significant amount of brain cells watching my character craft 500 healing potions. Yeah. You know what's funny? I crafted like 300 potions of each like 2 days ago. And I'm already out. And I'm gonna have to do it again. XD. Ah, yes. Dodging at the right time and not perfect dodging anyways. I've been stunned for 50 minutes now. And I'm silenced. He's gonna regen on mobs. Yeah. Like, see, this is why I don't even want to do PvP right now, dude. Like, why bother? Like, you know, it's not that I don't want to stream. It's just, on one hand, I'm out of content. On the other hand, I do PvP and people do shit like this. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna go away now. Sure. This guy, yeah, sure, dude. Don't think content should have a cooldown personally. I think you need some sort of a cap, but I do agree that modern MMOs tend to be a bit too drastic with it, for sure. Like, the thing is, okay, I think some types of content need a cap. I don't think all of it need a cap, and the problem with this game right now is that everything has a cap. It's like, why does AP have a cap, right? Why does open world PvP have a cap, right? Like, maybe you could make sense of it at the beginning of the game, at the very beginning. But right now, not so much anymore. How many characters ideally should we play? If you want to max out all of your dungeons every week, technically it's your main and 2 ults, but it's not even that you're playing the 2 ults much, it's just that you need a second one to recharge enough energy to run the dungeons. Technically speaking, 1 ult is enough. It's just that the 1 ult is not gonna have enough energy. So you're basically playing your main for 35 dungeons, and then you're playing 2 characters for like 14 dungeons each basically. And like, that's it. Now, you can make more ults to run Ascension Trial to get enhancement stones, but that is up to you entirely. I think the only thing that needs a cap is shit like Sanctuary. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean by some content needs a cap. Like, Sanctuary is one of those, right? Extreme endgame, extreme rolling couldn't have a cap, but beyond that, yeah. I mean, I don't disagree, guys. I don't disagree. Worry now. Put in 1v4 clearly casting needs a buff. He killed one guy though. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I removed my invuln. I'm using an attack buff right now because I mean, who cares about a 3-second invuln, dude? I mean, you want to see this Marshall Glad, like, hang 5 people for 50 minutes? Yeah, well, he almost killed this ranger. Managed to hit the dungeon limit when one of the worst 3.8k for a gladiator hit the limit on my cleric. Yeah, I think they overdid the last patch, in my opinion. I mean, And I'm not that concerned about it. Like it's pretty likely people are going to be bitching about this because we are not the only people running like playing in this game, right? We're not. Like Koreans are going to see this shit and they're not going to be happy about it, right? Hey look, he's going to heal on mobs again. Yippee! The assassin has more self-regen than I do, chat. Isn't that great? It's fun, right? I build defensively and use full offensive skills. I mean, block is broken right now. But like classes like Gladiator, block is broken. Like the main thing with block is isn't so much the block in itself, it's the perfect block procs that keep happening. That just like completely negate like any and all CC and negates damage as well. I think it's a bit too powerful, if you ask me. It's too overbearing of a stat, right? And like, don't get me wrong, it's obviously here in this way to basically give an alternative to evasion, right? But evasion is also too powerful. You know what I mean? Like a stat that just like constantly procs and completely negates any and all effects on you, like is obviously always going to be a problem, right? I mean, evasion ranger, he's just going to heal himself on mobs infinitely, right? What's the point? Yeah, I mean, oh man, whatever, man. Okay, well, thankfully this guy is fucking retarded, so I guess I win. Bro fell off. Okay. Yeah, he just backdashed off the edge. I got the points, by the way. Let it be known, I got 17,000 ranking point for the guy falling asleep at the wheel and falling off the edge. Outplayed him, yeah, clearly. Hey, look, a gladiator that just like one shots me, right? Like, isn't that fun? Yeah, I mean, dude, PvP is just shit right now. Like, I don't even want to do it. I don't even want to do it. It's just the balance is off, right? The balance is off. It's just a consumable. It's just a consumable fucking endless pit. And for what? There's no ranking rewards. Why bother? Why fucking bother, dude? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, next week's patch needs to be a really fucking good one, man. I'm gonna be honest. Incoming sin buff, yeah. That's the obvious outcome. Yeah. They get self-res? Hell yeah, dude. You know what? No. Actually, that's not good enough. Because if they get self-res, it means that they had to die to begin with. They need a buff that when they reach 0 HP, it like launches a second HP bar. Yeah. Like basically, they need a buff that turns them into a Lost Ark boss. That's what they need, dude. We have fixed assassin. They need a 100% smite chance buff with 100% uptime. I mean, here's the thing though, that's not even gonna help. They don't need it. They need the ability to smite. Ah yes, they need, okay. We need to add one more stat into the game, guys. We have smite, perfect, crit, right? We need smite squared. Yeah, so your smite can smite. And we need perfect squared, so you can perfect your perfect. Yeah. That's it. Put me at the wheels of the game. I'm calling Namune, I'm telling him.
Walker of the path, please free me by destroying the Wraith Tomb.
By the way, I checked earlier today if using mouse macros would actually improve my DPS. It doesn't. My ping is too shit. There's just no saving it. I was literally doing the exact same DPS with mouse macros. Yeah, I hate to see it, honestly. How does the new power level system work? Today I saw an archer with only dungeon items. The power level system basically takes into consideration your direct stats, not just like your eye level and stuff. So anything that gives you stat gives power level. And the power level is based off of the utility of the stat in PvE. So it weighs the stuff that gives you more PvE damage higher. Whoops. Yeah, so like smite and attack will give you a lot more combat power than, like, I don't know, defense and MP, for example.
Offer your blood to my blade.
I think this is the first time I've done this content on stream, actually. I'm pretty sure, because I don't think I've gone into this content since the game's release, if I'm gonna be honest. By the way, guys, here's a funny thought, right? We have 63 dungeons right now, right? Keep in mind, we were supposed to have, how much was it? 45? 40, 43? Yeah. Until the Koreans bitched and they raised it to 63 mid-maintenance. So we would have had like 20 less runs. Actually, we would have had like dungeon runs that we could basically only do on our main, like no ults, nothing. No nothing. Yeah. Also, I should have kept my ego, man. I upcrafted my ring earlier today. I had to buy a couple of egos, and this shit is 2 mil now. This shit was 60k, 600k. Sorry, man. I should have kept them to sell them later. I should have known. I should have known. I'm going to sell this Odell because I'm broke as shit, and also the Odell price keeps crashing. Funnily enough, dude, it's 390. It was like 480 earlier today. That's crazy. Insane. I mean, it's probably a good thing that it's going down, though. That's good. Makes crafting more accessible, you know? That's always a good thing. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, well, back to the abyss, I guess. I guess I'm just coming out for events and then just weaving in some questionable PvP. Why is the chat very unalive? I mean, there's just not much going on, I guess. And hello, Sakura. I was just like For the last 46 minutes, man. I've already been streaming for 46 minutes. That's pretty impressive, actually. I've been bitching about the last patch and the current state of things for the last 46 minutes. Yeah. I'm just saying that you basically run out of shit to do on like day 2 of the week now. And because they remove seasonal rankings, you have no fucking reason to be grinding anything. Like, I don't want to do arenas. Okay, I tried to do some arena earlier today. I was saying, right? The queues are really long. And you only meet the same guys because no one's doing arena right now. And the reason why no one's doing arena is because arenas don't have season rewards anymore. So why do them, right? Someone said arena. Hello, Cyber. Yeah, I actually wanted to do arena earlier, like today. Like that was the plan for today. And then I looked at the ranking rewards. There's no rewards. And then I realized, wait, they removed ranking rewards for absolutely fucking everything in the game, actually. So even grinding ranks in the Abyss functionally gives you nothing right now. Not even a title. Wow, polymorph. Dude, this guy is pulling out the whole fucking buffet, dude. Holy shit. Oh, you have a cleric. I see. Yeah, I mean, I should have known. It's funny, right? Because ranking rewards give you nothing, and these guys are still zerging. It's like, why are you doing this, even? PvE rewards being removed, Rosara. PvP rank rewards is supposed to stay. Yeah, it's crazy, but it's gone. And because stuff like AP is capped, right? And arenas don't give you any rewards. Arena doesn't give you anything. It just gives you rank. But there's no rank rewards. So why does it exist? People cheat PvP ranks just so much. I don't know if that statement is valid. As long as there's like step rewards and not being like the top rank is still valuable in terms of what you get, like that's good enough for me, right? People are gonna be win trading anyways. Why does my arena title not have a time limit? I mean, sometimes they add the time limit like mid-season, right? Gold collector deal, collection iron, don't fight Nevada. Yeah, nah. Brother. Yeah, man, let's do a gathering stream, dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And that expiration date. I mean, last season also didn't have an expiration date. Like last season, they waited until like mid-season to add some of the, to even like add the titles and everything, and add the expiration. Yeah. General. Yeah. Awaiting gathering stream. For 50 sub, I'll do a gathering stream. Yeah, bro's dead. Right, let me just do this. But I mean, at this point, it's just like next week waiting room basically, and hope that they actually address all of the problems next week, because holy shit, dude. Holy moly. Can't bait me, that's half of free money. Nah. Dude, every time, by the way, just for the record, right? Every time I say shit like this, it's a joke. even though you actually like lean into it sometimes, let it be know. It's a joke. If you say for one sub, suddenly you can't actually not to, that's true, yeah. It was not a joke. What the chat didn't know is that this guy was money hungry. Yeah, I'm gonna get one shot by this guy. Oh, it's 2 gladiators actually. Wait. Hell yeah. Actually, it was 3 gladiators, man. But it just makes it especially funny that these people are win trading and zerging literally every breathing second of their existence, considering there's no fucking ranking rewards. I mean, you gotta you just have to hand it to them. These guys are doing this shit for the love of the game. They are win trading and zerging for 18 hours a day, spending gold scrolls for nothing. Iron 1 Arena gave a PvP stuff, yeah. I think genuinely Arena should just function the same way as Iron 1. If Arena is not going to have ranking rewards and it's just going to be a cosmetic title, then it needs to be the same system as Iron 1. It needs to be limited tags that gives you AP and tokens to buy gear, right? That's all there is to it, right? And if the Abyss ranking is not going to give you anything outside of just the rank and maybe a funny X-form haha, then AP needs to be uncapped, right? You need to have a reason to do PvP that isn't the rankings then. This guy got fucking one shot. I mean, at least he was doing damage though. I'll miss you. Oh, there's another guy now. Hell yeah. Yo, get his ass. Get his ass. Hell yeah. Ruffle Flame must be next dungeon, Matt? Yeah, it is, it is. Right time, boys, let's back to WoW. Wanna play with my grandpa? Nah, bruh. In no way. I mean, look, I would play another game on stream to fill in the blank. It's just one of those things where I know better. I know better. Like, if I want to do anything in terms of content creation, I need to stick to this game, right? So, even though I don't have anything to do right now, I'm gonna be playing the game. Like, it's fine. But if it stays like this, I'm probably going to be spending more time making videos than streaming. Is basically what I'm trying to get at. Like the long 7-hour stream, so on and so forth, like that shit is gonna have to go. If the game is like this. Because I don't have enough shit to do. Do we know what is next content for update? Yeah, we know a couple of things. Like, the next patch on the 22nd is going to be fairly massive. Like, it's going to have fast revamps, right? Complete rebalance in PvE and PvP, like change of the synergy, so on and so forth. We're gonna have a new dungeon. There's gonna be systematical changes. Like, there's minor QL stuff that's gonna come out that some that we know about, some that are like educated guess based on stuff they've said. And they also had the whole thing, right, with the cafe interview last week, right? So there's probably going to be changes that are tied to stuff they talked about during that, yeah. Yes, just full regen on a mob in one skill. That's good content. Asinine to me that this has been in the game for this long, by the way. Like, you guys are the king of crutches. How could you not find a crutch to fix the life leech problem in Ibis? How is that, right? How did you just like leave it like that? Just look at that, dude. Look at that. Also, does this guy have fucking infinite stamina, man? I'm not able to roll as much as you are. I mean, I guess he has a drink, yeah. Makes sense. And I'm paralyzed. Alright. Well, I'm gonna go on the other guy now. With 7 ults, I'm done with dungeons. I think it's Abyss Farm. I mean, the thing is, right, even if you have 7 ults, like, there's just not enough dungeons to run. I mean, I guess you could be running Transcendence. Yeah, I guess I could be running Transcendence on my ults. Yeah, possibly. But like a paltry few Kinas, yeah. I guess I could be doing that. MZZ. That's probably not him, though. Yeah. Ah, yes, proxy. Oh, I'm dispelled, actually. Okay. I mean, I guess with amplification I have enough buffs that they're not getting to my OP though. That's that's pretty cool, I guess. Wait, I thought this guy was dead. Hold on. Why are you hanging on? Thank you. But they are pretty obsessed with the amount of Kina that is currently in circulation in the game, right? Which they have mentioned is one of the reasons why they keep restricting us on the amount of shit we can run right now. But brother, stop being obsessed with your economy. You are killing your fucking game. Like, come on, man. You know better than this. I know you know better. Like, I've seen your 9-1, dude. You knew better then. Like, if you're this pressed about the economy, stop putting Kina as a reward for everything, right? And unlock the non-Kina related farming stuff. Dude, I'm so down horrendous. I went for my Kina cap today. I unironically did Vacron. Like full clear to fucking farm Kina. Like you know that's why things are looking bad, right? When you start running Vacron to get your Kina cap. Oh, dude. Every single melee is a copy of each other. Just attack. If it doesn't immediately work, then just fall back and immediately. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. Thanks for the invite, dude. Really good group you have going. Just dash on the mob and life leech. Like, that's it. One brain cell, bro. Well, at least it was worth streaming for that, I guess. Yeah, thanks for the Prime Radiant. Appreciate it. I appreciate your patronage. Very cool. Yes. Yeah, well, I'm Theo Stone on my fucking Defiance and I'm stunned again. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, like I initially intended on streaming tomorrow and on Tuesday, right? As usual. I think I'm not going to. I think I'm just gonna focus on probably like making a video or something. Because I'm dead ass just out of shit to do. Like, no cap. Ah yes, he hit me once and I'm paralyzed. That's pretty cool, I guess. Okay, you can't glide against the rock on this game. Unfortunate. I think this guy fell off though. Transcendence on ults? I don't want to do that. I don't want to run Transcend... Dude. Okay, here's the thing, right? Conquest dungeons are stomachable on ults because you're just able to do one boss runs, right? You can just run to the end, kill the boss, takes 3 minutes. You just take your Kina, you take your Bellic Mats, chop chop, right? If I do Transcendence on ults, this shit is going to take 10 to 15 minutes. Also, recruiting people for Transcendence level 1 takes forever. And then you get less Kina than a regular Conquest dungeon. And you also don't get the Bellic Mats. Like, I think chopping off my own like my own ball sack on stream might make for better content and more enjoyable content. I'm gonna be honest. And like, not even using like a really well sharpened knife, right? Like using like a fucking dull rusty razor type shit, you know? I guess he has the invul on. We are chopping ball sack, yeah? I guess we're chopping ball sacks now. You go then any better? Bro, that's the funny part. I've been doing Shigo today. That's how you know things are looking dire, brother. I've unironically done like 9 Shigos today. Well. Well, I think the other one is gone though, so it's not too bad. It's a block Templar. I have some good news and some bad news, chat. The good news is that I might be able to survive this guy. It's entirely possible that I can. The bad news is I don't do damage. This guy's heal stone keeps rocking. Well, there's another guy coming here. I don't know if he saw me though. I don't think he did. Yeah, these guys don't fucking look at the minimap. That's the thing. Yeah, this guy grew tired. Oh, he now has 3 people on him. Okay, well, the martial dead is on me now. Problem is, I don't really have cooldowns for this. Ah, nice. He just stunned me 4 seconds on my Defiance buff. That's fun. Cleric is so weak in PvP. I mean, there's multiple moving parts, right? It's obviously... The class doesn't really do a lot of damage baseline right now, but also my gear is not like the best, right? I don't have any crafted gear, right? And I'm also not spec'd into damage. Like, I don't have damage boost, etc, etc. Now, that being said, yeah, I mean, there's a reason why you don't see a single fucking cleric doing solo PvP right now. I'm the only dipshit doing that. Because open world PvP as a cleric right now is functionally unplayable. Because obviously you do like a small amount of damage to begin with. So it takes you a decent amount of time to kill people. And because it takes you time to kill people, it's more likely that they will get reinforcement, right? That's number 1. But most importantly, number 2, every fucking class in the game has some sort of life leech. And they're just able to like turn back and go life leech on the mob mid-fight infinitely. Hey, look. This Glad is holding down 1 button, and it's working for him. Yes, well... I can't tank the ranger, that's the problem. Oh, and this cleric is not doing damage either. Yeah. Unfortunate. It's a cleric, not a soak, it's not supposed to be insane damage. Yeah, but see, the thing is, Raiden, right? There's a there's like something in between insane damage and literally doing 1 point of damage to gladiators and templars. Which is the problem right now. Now, again, granted, I'm not spec'd for damage, right? But, yeah. Like, basically... 4 out of the 8 classes in the game right now, you will never kill as a solo cleric. That's just how it is right now. It is what it is, right? Just waiting for the balance patch. Maybe something's gonna happen. And if not, then gonna do another respec, I guess. But yeah, right now, no, not the best. We just buy that. A lot of people bitch that clerics are on the top DPS class. I don't think literally anyone is bitching about cleric not being the DPS class. I think the bitching before was that Cleric in PvE did fucking no damage. It was mostly a support class, which is fine, right? It's just that the PvE content is not really built around that. Didn't they finish the statement? I mean, the rest of the statement is NMMOs in general, not specifically Ion, which it still applies the same here, right? The end of the statement doesn't change what I'm saying. But here's the thing, right? I don't think Cleric needs more damage. I just think they need to balance their fucking stats better. If I'm gonna be honest, right? I don't think it's a problem for Cleric to be a slow burn, right? Like, I think it is the essence of the class, so I think it's fine. So, it's just that there's too many... I'm not even gonna heal myself, dude. There's too many things in this game that basically turns the damage output in PvP to somewhere to either you fucking kill the target in 3 seconds or you do no damage to it and it takes you 5 business days to kill him. And there's not much of an in-between, right? And that mostly stems from the stats not being balanced properly. Like, block and evasion right now are too radical in the way they work. And then stats like damage boost, attack, multi-hit are too fucking violent. They scale too much, right? So you just end up with PvP where, again, you either fucking one-shot the target or you can never kill the target with no in-between, right? I mean, these guys are able to hit me from fucking... I mean, 3 glads, dude. Yeah, I mean, come on. Center support too, but it's 1,000 times better in PvP. Is it though? I don't think Chanta is doing too hot right now, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, if you're looking at a solo Chanta, I don't think solo Chanta is doing well right now. At all. Only problem you're suffering from is Life Leech. It's not just Life Leech though. It's not just Life Leech. There's... Obviously Life Leech is the most egregious. But there is a bunch of systematic problems right now. If we are being dead ass, yeah, it's not just the Life Leech. It's also the CC amount, right? It's the CC amount, it's the buff cooldowns, it's the impact of individual stats, as I said. Being able to kill some of these people that didn't have Leech. I mean, the only guy I can think about where I would have been able to do that was the assassin. The 5-star assassin from earlier. And I'm gonna be honest, if this guy spent less time leeching mobs and more time hitting me, he would have been able to kill me no problem. It's just that these people are so life leech paled that the moment they take 1 point of damage, they disengage to go life leech. But an assassin like this would be able to like absolutely drill my asshole in like 3 seconds top. If he actually fucking tried. Without having life leech on his mind, right? But yeah, I don't think Chanta's doing too well. Now, Chanta has the advantage to at least Chanta has some sort of CC, right? Which Cleric doesn't have. Chanta's sustain in PvP right now sucks mega balls, right? Like, it's really bad. Because Recoup doesn't really heal you in PvP anymore. Like in the Abyss. With the healing debuff, right? Like, Recoup fucking heals you for like 3k. This shit is inconsequential at best. And then the invul does nothing. The defensive buff kind of does nothing, right? And Chanta's burst is pretty bad in comparison, right? Chanta's burst is similar to Templar, actually. Except Templar has more stuns and is tankier. Yeah, so I would say Chanta is probably not doing too hot right now either. Yes. Just life leech away. Okay, well, add this guy on top of the list though. Okay, well, never mind. I paralyzed him. Maybe I can kill him. Is he gonna life leech back? Never mind. Alright, you can add this guy on the list of people I'm not gonna be able to kill because of life leech. Yeah. That's one more. Okay, well, but here's the thing, right? Hear me out. So if I do this, right? And I just wait 8 seconds. And then I just have to get a little bit lucky, right? But hear me out. Hear me out. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. Keep blocking, brother. And he resisted. Well, alright, well, see you again in 30 seconds, guys. Surely I'm not gonna get zerged without my UCLs on, right? Yeah. Chenta is a mantra buff, not a DPS, and PvP they're not doing well. Yeah. Chenta is good in groups, right? But I would argue, I mean, Chenta is probably doing like about the same as Cleric in PvP right now. Mind you, this is a full PvE gear Templar, by the way. I'm full PvP gear. I can't damage this guy, and he keeps like reaching on the mobs. But that's what's going on. Yes, the general guys here. Well, the problem is I don't have UCLs. I can't manage this without UCLs. Yeah. I mean that's just Cleric in a nutshell. Hit a guy for 50 minutes until he gets zerged. Well, both of my roots are still not fucking Templar anyways. Hey, look, my only CC, the only CC that I have, has a 1 minute cooldown and never sticks. Isn't that great? Gladiator can stun you 4 seconds on Defiance, by the way. On a 3-second cooldown. That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty neat, yeah. If you ask me. Well, I have 80% damage tolerance right now. Still have 80% damage tolerance, mind you. And the general ranger is here now. Yeah. Like, I'm literally capped on damage tolerance, and this gladiator is like able to kill me in 3 seconds on full PvP gear. You know what I mean? It's the stat scaling, man. The stat scaling is completely off right now. Like, they increased the TTK. It's funny, right? Because they increased the TTK, they balanced out all of the classes for the new TTK, and then they did an emergency maintenance to buff gladiator's damage in PvP. And then they released a patch that increased the attack cap, and now gladiator is back to 3-shotting people, just like before the TTK patch. Okay, what was the point of any of this? Like, do you guys fucking test your patch before you release it to live, or what are we doing here? There's a problem between PvP gear and PvE gear. It's not even that deep, honestly. I think the gap between PvE and PvP has been breached a decent amount now. It's not as bad of a problem as it used to be, and I think people put a lot of I think people put a lot of faith into Horn Dragon gear when really it's only the weapon and guard right now. And it's only because the high commander weapon and guards are like completely inaccessible. But the chest and legs are genuinely like not even that good anymore. Yeah. Why are you... Yeah. Right. Difference between T1 PvP and T1 PvE. Guys in PvE can tank the guys with the PvP gear. No, they can't. Again, you are mistaking a gear problem with a class problem. And that's what a lot of people are doing right now. There is genuinely a bigger problem from ping and class imbalance than there is with gear. And people don't realize that. A Templar can tank you with fucking Bakama gear, because Templar has infinite endurance and damage tolerance by default. And also because block is completely broken. You know what I mean? But I can tell you that you put the same gear on a, let's say, gladiator that doesn't run block, and this guy's gonna die in like 3 hits. I keep killing people with mix of High Commander and Horn Dragon gear just because they have the wrong stats on their gear. It keeps happening. And look, you're able to check the people's gear mid-fight now. You don't even have to check sugar.gg now. And I keep doing it just to make sure I know exactly what I'm looking at. And I can tell you that the biggest problem right now comes from class imbalance, it comes from ping, and it comes from the scaling of the stats. On specific stats, right? But those specific stats don't necessarily require you to be running Horn Dragon or anything. If you put those same stats on Decana's gear, it's gonna do the same thing. It's just that the game right now has extremes on both ends, basically, when it comes to PvP. Like, the balance is completely fucked. From top to bottom, the balance is completely fucked. And again, and I know I'm repeating myself, you end up in situations where either someone doesn't have the right stats and they get 3-shot, or someone has the right stats and they're fucking invincible. No in between. Also something Kjell actually figuring out, attack get worse and worse as you increase it, defensive stats get better as you increase it. Yeah. And the meta is not only shifting because of the meta is not only shifting because of the change that they're making, it's also people are discovering how some stats are working, but they are discovering it too late, right? To a point where some stats that were thought to be completely useless, that got buffed, turned out to not be useless past certain thresholds, but now they're actually overcorrected. And like, that's the story of this fucking game's life, dude. They just knee-jerk reaction, kept listening to dumb morons and kept updating the game too much, too fast, and now we have a mess, right? Okay, Gear Score people use bots. You try to make reports for support. I keep reporting people, but on Taiwan, nobody's getting banned. No. So much whales, actually. I mean, that's just the standard in those regions, right? Like Korea, China. Like, it's just the standard. Even if the game is the exact same on global, it's not going to be like this. You can trust me. Yeah, well. But even then, they should still, like, you know, there's a few things that they need to iron out for global for sure. Well, I spammed Absolution, but because of ping, it never came out, so cool. But yeah, like right now, the thing is, anytime you go in PvP, basically everyone has the same gear in PvP, by the way. Like, everyone has the same gear. Everyone is full Tribunus with some pieces of Horn Dragon Weapon, Horn Dragon Guard, full +20, +25. Everyone has that. So every single person I'm hitting, every single person I'm DPSing, every single person I'm PvPing in the Abyss right now has that gear. It's the baseline. That's what fucking everyone has, right? It's the same for Arena. It's the same for any PvP area, right? The only difference stems from people running the quote-unquote right stats or wrong stats, right? Oh, the knockback on Ranger is like... It's like, again, why is this shit in a game? In a game where you were not able to fucking balance the fact that skill gets self-cancelled. Like, see, look at that. Look at that. The knockback keeps cancelling my radiant recovery. Goes in cooldown, cast is ended, doesn't heal me because it cancels the animation. It's just, this game is a fucking mess right now. Although you assume I won't have Horn Dragon in global, I mean... I don't think they're going to allow for that, you know? But I guess if they do, you could. I mean, maybe not day one, but week one probably, yeah. I think week one is doable. If they do season one the same way. But since he's upgrade, hell yeah. Yeah, just run away. Talking stats, you mean about our builds, our character? Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's just that right now, there is a rise of block, because block is a broken stat, right? So basically, if you build anything other than block, you're getting 3 shot. Like block and evasion, if you build anything else, right? If you build defense, if you build crit res, if you build HP, you're getting 3 shot. If you build evasion and block, you're invincible. Because they are completely unable to balance their fucking stats correctly. It's not even that block and evasion that make you like slightly tankier. It makes you invincible. Like that's all there is to it. Because apparently they think that designing defensive stats that just completely negate the incoming damage is a good way to design a defensive stat. Apparently, right? Apparently that's how they're doing this. God forbid, right? Okay, I think I blocked the... And it's the same with offense, right? Because crit res is useless, building for crit is useless, so getting crit is useless. Also, especially because like on half the fucking classes, your biggest burst damage has a spec that makes you crit all the time, so it doesn't fucking matter. Why build crit, right? Like the only mana stone you want to roll is damage boost, right? Damage boost, weapon damage boost. Because again, as Yukiri said, attack only scales so high, right? Like beyond a certain amount, the attack doesn't help you anymore. So mana stone wise, you suck at mana like damage boost, and then when you do suck at damage boost on your mana stones, all of a sudden, whoa, you're 3-shotting people. You know? This guy is going to regen his health. Look at the HP bar right now. Look at that, look at that, look at that. He's swinging his dick. Hold on, hold on. Are you not going to swing your dick, dude? Are you just going to run away? Man. You had such a perfect escape plan though. And I can't damage him. Yep, and now he's teleporting out. Great PvP. 50% archers in the Abyss is bots. I mean, not even the archers, like any class really. Like people are even botting on their main because who cares? You don't lose anything for dying. And they don't ban people on Taiwan. My Soxo and PvP, your advice is to build full damage boost, might escape, yeah? If you want to build on Soak right now, you build full damage. And you grab a pocket Cleric. As a Soak, that's what you have to do. Now again, balance patch on the 22nd, so in 3 days maybe things are going to change. Who knows? But right now, yeah, that's what you do as a Soak. The only classes that are able to do well in solo PvP right now in the Abyss are Gladiators and Assassin. Every other class needs a group because they don't function alone. The difference between weapon boost and damage boost in PvE? They more or less do the same thing. It's just that there's diminishing return on damage boost, so you do want to vary with both. That's pretty much all there is to it, right? Bitching endlessly? I mean, bro, you don't even do PvP. Why would you be bitching about anything? You don't do PvP. And your class is already miserable in PvE. Like, what would there be to bitch about, you know? Like, I don't think there's gonna be more bitching involved, considering you don't do PvP. Like, Gladiator is only a problem in PvP right now. Like, in PvE, it's a worthless piece of shit. You would rather grab literally any other class. Because every other class does everything that Glad does better. So, you know. Class Doction in PvE too. I mean, Life Leech is probably going to get hit, yeah. But it's not going to be a Glad specific thing, though. Like, every class with Life Leech like, is going to suffer, I guess. Like, arguably, classes like Assassins are probably going to suffer more, right? Inherently, because they're squishier. God, I love knockback, dude. Is he gonna life leech mobs? Oh, look at that! Wow! I'm having so much fucking fun in the Abyss, guys. I'm finding a DPS class, and then halfway through the fight, it's like, whoop! Time out! Time out! Let me grab my mob. Okay, I'm back to full health. Alright, let's go. Let's go again. Yo, he's going on time on again. Look, 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 look. He's going every mob. Whoop. Alright. I'm still covered by fucking Theostone, dude. I'm gonna die. Yeah, because of that. That's great, right? I removed his HP bar 3 times over. It doesn't matter. Everything's tuned with Korean meta. I'm not sure how close it is to Taiwan. The meta is the same everywhere. Because there's not 50 million different metas, right? It's just one thing is clearly better than the rest and everyone starts running it. And I can't even tell you. I don't know that for a fact, right? But I'm pretty sure that it's just a couple of content creators on YouTube, like on the Korean side, that are probably like just handing out information to people. And then everyone just runs the same shit. Because it's pretty funny to me how people all start running the exact same shit overnight every time. Like, no one ran block, and then almost overnight, bam, 1 week ago, everyone started running block. Literally everyone. It has to be some content creator bullshit, right? Also, I don't know if I said hi, but hello, Andrew. I feel like people try to 4-0 in Pokemon rank PvP, yeah. Like, I don't know, man. I really like the game. I really like the game. I really believe in the game, but man, holy shit. This week has not been fun. Like, the mix of having U-Steal and matchmaking, of like receiving no... Look at that, man. Like, he's gonna turn around because now I have people on me, yeah. Yeah, and now he's life leeching. Look, even this random dickhead that is actively zerging me, while he's zerging me, what does he do? He takes a mob and he life leeches. I'm going down there where there's no mobs, and they're not going to follow me. And you know why? Even though they're 3v1? Because there's no mobs down there, and they can't fucking life leech. So they reset like the fucking mobs they are. Why do I fucking bother with this shit, dude? Korean dropped evasion builds already to favoring world power status effect resistance. I think that no, that ship has sailed. I can guarantee you right now that Korea is back on the block train. I am 100% sure they are. You won't hear Sork and Sin talk about block, ignore block and evasion. Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course, because the entire basis of this game is introducing broken mechanics and then adding crutches, and they've been doing this since day one. Which is why, right, a lot rides on the patch on the 22nd. And I'm going to tell you right now, and you can clip this, right, and you can bring it back in a few days. If the patch on the 22nd doesn't do anything to address the problems in PvP right now, I'm done with PvP. I am disenchanting my PvP gear, and I'm not doing PvP anymore in Taiwan. What is this fucking escape route, dude? What are we doing here? Because if PvP has no rewards from the seasons, right? No titles, no mounts, no statues, nothing. And you're expected to do PvP for fun against servers with 3 times your population on a map the size of a tiny fucking French village with broken balance. I'm not doing it anymore. Like that, I'll just wait for global when maybe they figure that shit out, right? Yeah, we do love our villages. They're not big enough to have a siege, though. Experience is so different to mine during Prime. We have literally ZVZ gameplay, actual fun. Play small scale where the balance issues are much more visible. My server doesn't have to play small scale. I mean, this isn't peak hours, right? Like this is 4 AM for Taiwan. And the reason why I'm doing PvP right now is because it's actually unplayable during actual peak hours. Because if I go during peak hours, my server is gonna have like 3 dickheads on the map, and you still is going to have like 50 people on every single square inch of the map. You get zerged the moment you jump off, right? And here's the thing. Even if my server had the people to fight back, I just don't give a shit for ZVZ. That's just not how I enjoyed the game. You know why? Because I came from Iron 1, and Iron 1 was not about that. I'm someone who cares about solo PvP and small scale PvP, which is why I loved Iron 1. So that's what I'm doing, right? More AP for you. I mean, what AP? What AP, dude? AP is fucking capped. Why is this still in the fucking video game? I don't know, but mid abyss, lower abyss is mid abyss is also tiny as fuck. It's just that there's more like twists and turns and nook and crannies because it's grounded only. Which thank God we finally have a grounded map, right? Like this is the best thing they've added in the game for in a while. It's just that who gives a shit because PvP doesn't give you anything. Like the entire premise of PvP in 9.1 was that you can do open world PvP at any time. It's always going to be rewarding. And like, you still had a bit of that with the rankings, but now you don't have that anymore, because the rankings are fucking cosmetic. But yeah, hopefully on the 22nd, right? Hopefully. Korea, but Taiwan players aren't pro PvP. Yeah, I mean, the Taiwanese players very much remind me of the Russian players. They're just like very focused on victory at all cost. I mean, dude, look at this bullshit, man. These people, right? You don't lose anything for dying, right? And the Abyss ranking, the seasonal Abyss ranking, actually do not give you anything. These people still spend 18 hours a day zerging, and they would rather just turn around and run or life leech on mobs to not die, even though there's no consequence to death, and even though there's no rewards for PvP. What can I tell you? Dying hurts my feelings. Yeah, exactly. Same as the Russian players. They played the exact same on Iron 1. Even on the patches where you didn't lose anything on death, right? You would find one that would just run away until they run into a Zerg, yeah. Because they just don't want to lose, right? On Throne and Liberty, they show up to world bosses with 1.5k people. Tiny ass arena. The boss gives you one piece of loot that is worthless. They show up with 2,000 people. Yeah. Do you think they should remove AP cap from PvP? I know we were talking about limits before, Mr. Yes. There's just no reason for PvP to have an AP cap anymore. There's none. There's just none. They should give us... They should like remove the AP cap, and they should put a weekly cap on the amount of Abyss Mana Stones that you can buy, right? And they should make the Asphalt Bolt infinitely scale on the amount of AP it takes, right? Even if it takes 1 million AP to get one Asphalt Bolt, I'll fucking grind it. Give me an alternative, right? Hey, look, it's the guy that's gonna life leech on fucking mobs, right? Let me just drag him on the bridge. If you have me understand endurance, a chance to enduring percent damage. Endurance is a proc. If it procs, it reduces the damage you take by half. Yeah. It's counted by endurance pen though, so... Ah yes, paralysis Theostone. Excellent. When do artifacts reset next? I'm not in game. It's gonna be on the day of the patch. It's on Tuesday. KDA players. I mean, KDA doesn't even matter, dude. Half of the fucking rankings are kill trading, which is funny, by the way. It's funny. People are kill trading for the rankings, even though the rankings don't give anything. Like, the people in Taiwan have genuine mental illness. It's... yeah. No comment. And regen is 20% of damage taken recovered, it's 15%. But the difference is that regen is... regen has no counter, whereas endurance can be counted. I mean, it has death as a counter, but no one's running that shit, so... Kinda like block. Nah, the way block works right now is... if you block, it just completely negates the damage and the... It's basically evasion. It's wish evasion. It's evasion that doesn't work from the back. Yeah, that's what block is right now. KD means nothing in a game with Zillion concept. Yeah, it also, I mean, it especially means nothing in this game, right? Like, but what can you do, right? I fucking hate the parkour bullshit, dude. There's regen pen. Yeah, but there's no way to build it. Like, the only way you can get regen pen is from the Marchitans and from death. Like, you can't build it otherwise. So guys will run full regen pen. As far as I'm aware, you can't roll regen pen. Yeah, right? Because you would be able to roll in like gloves, for example, which I don't think you can. Yeah, endurance pen. Nothing there. Nope. No regen pen. It's only on death. Regen is a lot weaker than endurance. 15 and 50 is completely unmatched. Yeah, but again, the trade-off is supposed to be that one has no counter and one is easily countered. Like, the thing with endurance is that unless you play Templar, you need to lean into it like very heavily. You basically need orange gear, and even then it doesn't proc all that often, right? This guy is literally holding down one button, by the way. For anybody wondering why this guy is doing so much damage, he's literally holding down one button. And look, now he's dying. Oh no! What will I do? Oh my god! Oh, let me grab a mob real quick. Yep, and back to full health. Alright! Back into the fight we go. I do 50 times more damage than you and I'm able to heal more than you. Isn't that funny? Funniest shit I've ever seen. Mind you, the only reason why I'm doing damage to this guy is because he's not running block. It's the illusion of like being able to do something, right? Yeah, I'm pretty much dead now. Yeah. Because I have no way to stop him from CCing me now, so next time he CCs me I'm probably dead. Oh well, never mind. Oh no! Yeah, he's gonna regen, and now I have a temp on me, and I'm getting zerged. Good PvP, guys, good PvP. Yeah. Honestly, my bad. The better play one. I don't know your PvE soulbinds? Nope. The game doesn't want to give me my PvE soulbinds. I've rolled my chess piece 150 times, still don't have damage boost. What can you do, right? Can I block raid bosses as a Templar? I don't see why not. Like, evasion is very powerful in PvE right now, so I would assume that block does the same thing, right? By the way, Sakura, regen doesn't need a buff. Endurance needs enough. So does block, so does evasion, so does attack, so does multi-hit, so does damage boost. Just bring everything down, right? Like, stop having like extremes in the game that are actively making the game fucking stupid. How about that? And I'm dead. Yeah, 15-second CC combo, and it's back again in 3 seconds. Multi is already weak as shit. It's 20% more damage than on full hit, on full hit procs. Multi-hit is not weak. It adds up, dude. Like, you use Shadow Clone. even if like each multi-hit does 100 damage, when it procs 10 times per hit, and you attack literally 20 times per second, it adds up. It's just, there's too many fucking layers. I perfect dodged the pull and now he's running away. Interesting. Let's see if that pays off. Does 5% times 4, I mean, whatever. It still shouldn't be in the fucking game. I literally dealt 5% of his HP, and he ran back to heal himself on a mob. 5%. Yeah, you find yourself in a ditch, brother. Like, that's not the best position to be in. I don't think devs care about PvP. I mean, clearly they care because they've been updating, they've been desperately trying to fix PvP for like the last 3 months. And we are getting another PvP balance patch like in 3 days. But I don't know why they're not getting the memo. Like, it's fucking egregious that the problems are really fucking blatant and obvious. I mean, again, we'll see. Fucking surprise me. Fucking surprise me on the 22nd, you know? Like, I will literally suck my own dick live on twitch.tv if they actually address everything I talked about today. Like, full exclusivity. Like, all throttle forward, brother. I will get my ribs surgically removed and I will deep throw my own cock and balls on stream if they go forward and do everything I talked about today. What second orange PvP gear bar? My current shoulders are diamond 3. Should I max them before transfer? Doesn't matter. Second orange PvP, my current shoulders are diamond 3. You mean yellow shoulders? It kind of breaks even, like on the end cost if you actually account for the price of amplification stones. I guess it also matters on whether you care more about the key now or the enhancement stones, right? But it's kind of the same thing. The main thing that matters on the transfer are the soul binds, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, just make sure that the soul binds are you have all of the hardest to roll soul binds on the main soul binds that you're transferring over. Yeah. That's the only thing that actually matters. They're bringing no content or reason to play PvP. I mean, they are, right? They revived Battlegrounds, which is nice, but then they only allowed us to run it 3 times a week. Right? Rifting is supposed to be a thing that exists, but they keep adding incentive for people to go without actually fixing the maps. So what do people do? They take the Rift, they kill bots to get all of the rewards, and then they never go back again. Right? Like, the incentive is there. Also, ranking used to be a good incentive. Not anymore. Arena is functionally useless now. And it's not like we have any shortage of shit that we need from PvP. We need Asphalt Board, we need PvP Mana Stones, and we need Abyss Potential Stones. But they're not adding that to any of the contents, so... thoughts? Again, very easy, very easy. Very simple to fix PvP right now. And the game in general, like, I don't know. And the game is so close, dude. Like, they're capable of releasing quality content constantly. But then they fuck up they fuck up the speed of the rewards. The balancing of the rewards as well. And like the stats, and they keep adding crutches to fix shit, and then they actually fix the core problem, but then the crutches fuck up the fix, which is what happened with the TTK in PvP right now. And then they go back and they make a patch that undoes the fix they just did. Like, when they did the TTK patch, Gladiator's DPS was completely fine for PvP. It made sense because Gladiator has a lot of CC, right? It made sense. And then what did they do? 3 days later, emergency patch. We increased Gladiator's DPS by 30%. And then what do? Start of season 3, we uncap percent attack. So Z-Kills actually gives you attack now. And now Gladiator's 3-shot you. And then Assassin has a clear problem with Apply Poison being additive with the healing debuffs in the Abyss, making it impossible to heal yourself against Assassin. And then on top of that, the CC amount of Assassin, because of Insignia Explosion, is fucking insane with the current TTK, right? What do? Emergency patch. They buff Assassin's left and right click by 15% and increase the healing debuff on Apply Poison. Literally walking on my fucking hands, dude. It's literally like all of these patches have been a huge case of who asked, you know? Who fucking asked? And now now obviously when they did the TTK patch, and you can go back on my live stream, right? I said frame 1, I am looking forward to the TTK patch. That's exactly what this game needs. But they really need to do something about life leech before they change the TTK, right? Because if they don't, it's gonna be a problem in the Abyss. Fast forward a few weeks later. Oh my god, life leech is a problem. We didn't realize. Okay. Now let us proceed to leave it the exact same way it is for 3 weeks. Yep. Oh, you don't have a life leech class? Well, I guess you're not gonna do Abyss PvP then. Damn, that's unlucky, man. You really hate to see that. Gladiators are boomers, will, and get special treatment for those. Are they money cow? I don't know, because Gladiator has been such a fucking milk toast class, dude. It's like, Gladiator feels like shit to play in PvE, by the way. Like, Gladiator is a useless piece of garbage in PvE. Every single class is better than it. It's a bad tank, it's a bad DPS. I mean, it's not a bad DPS, right? It's just a very boring DPS that holds down one button. And then it is supposed to be a potential tank. It sucks at tanking. It doesn't give any buff to the group, like defensively. But then you look at PvP and Gladiator is fucking stupid, so... If enough life leech isn't Cleric way too OP, it's kind of already broken. No. Brother, have you... No. But okay, here's the thing. I understand what you're saying. First of all, probably not. Second of all, then fucking balance it. Right? If Cleric's healing is... see, that's the other thing. And I've been binging about this already, by the way. Why is Healing Light spammable? Right? Why do we have a spec? Why do we have a spec that makes Healing Light spammable? Why is that in the game? Doesn't need to exist, by the way. It doesn't need to exist. It's part of the problem, right? Second problem, Radiant Recovery used to root you in place and have a longer cast, right? Now it's mobile and it's instant. Why? They had a balanced game. They broke it. Okay, well, see ya. Thanks for the points. In PvP, you cannot be one button glad. You need WSD to move close to mobs. I mean, okay. Counter argument. If you toggle auto approach on Iron 1 mode, you can actually just press tab and press the button and it makes you walk to the mob though. So technically speaking, you don't. How about that? I saw plays Glad. Yeah. The fucking business management guy. Yeah, he plays Glad. He said as much. He's the class favored by dev buff. Yeah, for real. Does Damien play assassin? Does anyone know what class Damien plays? Does he play assassin? Or Templar? You know what? Namion strikes me as a Templar, and that would make a lot of sense, actually. Yeah. That has to be it, actually. And look, I'm not bitching about any class in particular. And I'm not saying that Cleric is perfectly balanced either. Fuck, dude. Cleric is a mess. But, like... I don't know how you ship some of these patches, man. I just don't. The PvP is much better than it used to be, but wow. A lot of these problems were very easily foreseeable. You're a cleric, so you're probably pocketing someone, right? If I had to guess. Where's your... Who are you to Keaton enough? Where's the daddy? You're a general, and you're not doing that much damage. So clearly, something's off, right? Also, XD at these guys ignoring me. Oh hey, I'm paralyzed. Yippee! I've been trying to run amplification, right? To try and kill people faster before I get zerged. But without salvation, like if you run into situations where, you know, you have a bad paralysis or a bad stun, like... I don't know, it kind of sucks, man. Like, that was savable with salvation. Not without, though. Does accuracy negate block? Yes, it does. Is he gonna glide down to heal on the mob? Could it be? Guys, I see in the future. Bro, what are you doing? Why are you... Okay, wait. This guy might be a dumbass, but hold this thought. Hold this thought. Oh, invuln running out now. Why are you not healing in the mob? Are you an honorable gamer? Is that what's going on? Because you seem to be avoiding them on purpose. I mean, fuck, man. 07. That's the first gladiator I've ever met that hasn't tried to life leech a mob. Now, I don't know whether he's just stupid or if he actually like doesn't want to abuse the broken game mechanic, but wow. Like, send some flowers to this guy. But yeah, accuracy counters block as well as evasion. But you need like insane amounts of it. And if you build into accuracy, here's the problem, right? If you build into accuracy, you're basically free food for everyone else. And even the block and evasion guy might still fuck you depending on the class. Does heal block kinda counter life leech? Nope. Nothing counters life leech. You could put minus 200% incoming healing on someone, and life leech would be unimpacted. But everything else would be though. So, you know. And I have a feeling the devs forgot about that. I think they slapped this healing reduction debuff and they were like, yep. A job well done. And they forgo. Is a mistake, honestly. It's not like they programmed the game or anything. Yeah, I mean, at least we're making good progress in our ranking points. I can't wait to get nothing for it. Because people win traded last season. Yep, I'm hitting this guy for 1 point of damage. What am I gonna do with all of that 1 point of damage? What am I going to spend it? At least the gladiator is hitting him in the back while he's chasing me. But at least the gladiator will kill him eventually, right? This guy is in full PvE gear. Yeah. But he plays Templar, so you know his passives are tanking for him. It is what it is. I don't know why you're targeting the cleric, by the way, dude. Like, you have a whole ass fucking gladiator that has been literally slapping both of your cheeks at the same time with his cock for the last 50 minutes. You just have to turn around and kill him. I'm not able to heal him. But okay. I mean, I guess you're literally PvPing in full horn dragon gear, so you don't exactly have all of your neurons aligned to begin with. Like, that's fine. Man, they really need to not fuck this one up. I'm 2-star officer actually. Yippee! Hooray! What's 3-star? 2.8. Yeah, that's doable. Alright, I have one suggestion, chat. You guys tell me if you want to do that right now. So, I clearly don't give a shit about doing PvP right now, and I'm just doing it for stream, right? So here's a question to you. Would you guys be interested in reacting to Korean videos right now? Like watching a couple of Korean videos, perhaps. A lot of them have like the automatic dub thing, so they're not going to be like 100% understandable, but it would be interesting to like hear what some Koreans have to say. Yeah. Well, I perfect dodged both of his dashes. What's my reward? Another dash, I see. I'm paralyzed, okay. And he's back to full health. That's my reward. Yeah, absolutely. Plus, yeah, react error incoming. Alright. We can do that. We can do that. Do you know if there's a way to see other people's genius boards? Nope, you cannot. That is hidden information, top secret. Top secreto. I'm here to listen to what you say. I don't watch much, I would be interested in that. Alright, well, I guess we're doing this then. Alright, well, let me open YouTube on a private navigation tab, so this way you don't see the degenerate shit I'm looking at. We don't want that, right? See. Oh my god. The private navigation doesn't have night mode. Ugh, my eyes. Yeah, I will relinquish all of my lively possession to the Google overlords. Don't worry about that. Alright, theme, dark mode. Let me just like fix this real quick before we do that. I guess, okay, let me grab the name for Iron 2 in Korean, and then I'm just gonna look at the keyword, I guess. See. This, right? Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know what I'm gonna find, right? It's probably going to be a lot of degen shit. People looking at, I don't know, gacha in craft, I don't know. We're just gonna browse for a second. Because if I'm gonna be honest right now, I don't have anything to do in game. And the more I'm doing PvP in the current state of things, the more upset I'm getting. And we don't want that. I don't think we want that right now. Alright. Okay. Full screen. Yeah, you guys should have the desktop audio as well. So let's see. Alright. We can't sort by release date anymore, right? Yeah, I can only sort for today. No more recent. Yeah, good update, YouTube. Good update. Honestly, very cool. Well, this looks like to be a crafting video. But you know what? Maybe he's talking about other stuff. I've seen a Korean video saying Soulbind is easy. Yeah, fuck that guy. Yo, okay. Send me this guy's name in Discord DM. I will send Anthrax to his home. Do gathering instead of PvP, brother. It's funny because you're the second guy that has suggested that this stream. You guys are weird. Alright.
Audica vous présente une petite...
Pardon the French advertisement. Obviously I don't have an ad blocker on my private navigation. Hello? Ad block, please? It doesn't work on fucking private navigation, so deal with it. We're gonna be giving money to the Koreans. Alright. Okay, this has English. Yeah, this has the English situation at least. Okay, so you guys should be able to see that properly. I'm not paying you to not watch ads. Alright, well, I guess I'll just put the ads on the other screen then. You can enable it though. Here's the thing, right? I don't even use Chrome. I use Opera. So I just open Chrome to have a private navigation tab because Opera doesn't have these.
Okay, hello everyone. This is Toolkill. Lately, the topic of preserving the value of silver long
By the way, let me know if the guy's too loud or not loud enough. Let's see.
items has been a really hot topic. Silver long items, which were once incredibly expensive and game gear, are no longer preserving their value and are gradually dropping due to recent easing of various regulations. It seems they are in a situation where it is inevitable that this will become a hot topic. For example, from the perspective...
Okay. So, I'm guessing Silver Dragon means Horn Dragon, right? I'm guessing this guy is... I don't think he's complaining about it yet, but I guess he wants to talk about the depreciation of the cost of Horn Dragon gear. All right.
Of those who have already acquired them. They invested time and money to create these endgame items, so naturally you'll feel a sense of depreciation.
I mean, brother, this should not fucking exist in the first place. I mean, this is very Korean of you to be talking about this topic as if it's something important, but it's a good thing that it's becoming more available. This shit should not have existed in the first place, right? Like,
When their value drops. On the other hand, for users who haven't yet acquired Silverlong or newcomers just starting out,
I saw this video, he's saying the value of Horn Dragon is going down and people are just waiting. Okay, that's fair though. Okay, if you're saying that it's too soon for it to be going down, and because of that people don't feel incentivized to craft it right now because it keeps crashing, then yeah. And that is a problem that the game has, by the way. Like, the game patches and gear progression has been going so fucking fast that everything keeps getting eased out. Like, every single piece of content you can think of is getting easier and easier as patches go by, and every single piece of gear gets made easier to get. Like, dude, okay. The fucking Marcheton board was added into the game at the same time as the last Transcendence, right? And that was like, what, a month ago? A month and a half ago. And season 3 has came out like two weeks ago now. So basically, Marchetons came out a month before season 3. And when season 3 came out, they came around, right? And they added stuff like that, right? They added stuff like that. They added the... Which one is it? There is a pass, right? Oh, yeah. They added this pass, right? And you basically get all of your Marchetons for free in this. A month after it was added into the game and made an endgame dungeon item. Like, they are adding shit and making it worthless in like a matter of weeks. It's crazy. But yeah, let's see what this guy has to say about this.
Barrier to entry is lowered, so I think it can actually be viewed positively. Therefore, rather than fighting over who is losing or gaining, I think it is more appropriate to look at this from the perspective of the direction in which the game Ion is heading. Absolutely. Recently, with the level cap being expanded from 50 to 7.
Since they're giving Marcheton for free, their consensus will do the same for you still. They're doing normal mode over hard mode. I mean, okay, you don't really have a reason to do that though. Like, if you can run hard mode, it's always going to be better because you get more orange. You get more mats, right? But I mean, I get that though. On the front of the use steals, yeah, for sure.
70 and the structure has changed so that the success rate for crafting Silverlong has also naturally increased slightly. Ultimately, this patch can be seen as having eased the difficulty of crafting.
Yeah, I mean...
Personally, I felt that instead of adding a pity system or abruptly raising the success rate, they eased it indirectly by changing the structure to raise the success rate through increasing the...
The fucking AI voice is wacky as fuck, dude, but whatever, man, at least we can understand.
Crafting level and creating a justification for doing so. If Namjoon had taken a direct approach in a live stream or announcement saying you all had a hard time crafting Yonki Long, right? Wave eased it, user opinions would have been much more divided than they are now, and it would have caused a huge uproar. Because that was highly likely to happen, I suspect they proceeded with the patch in a way that naturally improved accessibility by expanding the crafting level. If they set up a system like...
Yeah, okay, but here's the thing, right? I get what he's saying, that basically they raised the level cap to make Horn Dragon gear indirectly easier to craft, to avoid uproar from people who are early adopters, but... Bro... This craft should not be this way to begin with. Like, the fact that it's a 50-50 success rate on an item that is virtually only a whale item, right? And they still haven't added upcraft, and they still haven't added a guaranteed craft to it, like... This shit doesn't matter. Like, ultimately... It's still not enough. Like, whether you're scared about people like complaining about the depreciation of the gear, I think adding an upcraft was still the expected outcome. And I think if you did, there would not have been more of an outroar that there is right now.
Like this, new item grades like mythical items or purification items will eventually
oh, that's funny.
be released. since the time will surely come when the requirements for those purification items need to be eased as well. If they can naturally ease them by utilizing the crafting level, it would be much more convenient for the game company. That's the direction I think they proceeded with the patch. On top of that, crafting Silverlong is easier than before, not only because of the eased crafting requirements, but also because the number of teas obtainable from the Shugu Festa and Qinggong has been increased, so they are dropping really well. As those who have played the game since the patch know, Chala Word is honestly dropping way too often right now, right? The market price for Chala Word is 640,000 won. Wow, it dropped a lot.
I mean, yeah, it's a good thing. Like, ultimately, the price of Odell, what, bro, each gold Odell was like $1 each. Like, this shit was a bot's fantasy because no one is gathering in the game, right? Like, the only people gathering are bots. So, the majority of these were already coming from Sugar Festival, and the rest was just like bot food. So, it's a good thing that it's made more available. That being said, bro, just fucking remove Sugar Fiesta from the game. Like, put Odell as a dungeon reward. Or put it as a reward for something else. Like, we shouldn't have to do minigames as part of the endgame rotation. The time needed to get orange PvE gear should be close to the time needed to get PvP gear. I don't disagree with that, by the way. It's a bit... And at the end of the day, right? The problem with the PvE gear in PvP is strictly because of that. Because high commander gear is unobtainable for most of the player base, but crafted gear can literally be bought on the auction house. That's the essence of the problem, right? Because the problem with orange gear is the stat scaling on soulbinds. Does this guy have 655k combat score? Don't worry about it. The reason I don't spend much in PvE, just weapon accessories, get new dungeon where gear is better than the old one, yeah.
Wow, but even that looks expensive now, because they are dropping so well. Furthermore, with the rewards being increased this time, Shugu Festa has at least been changed to a server-wide basis. However, since Qinggong is still on a character-wide basis, the efficiency is really good. But then what happens when the efficiency is too good? Macros and bot farms will catch the scent again and swarm in relentlessly. As those who remember Season 1 know, there were tons of macros and bot farms back then.
Back then? You can tell this guy's fucking Korean.
These guys catch the scent again and run the super fleet invasion, the supply will become so high relative to demand that there is definitely room for the price of brilliant nodes to drop even further than it is now. Even looking at the results, it is highly likely that the difficulty of crafting the yin energy longbow will also move in a direction where it becomes even lower than it is now. Rather than these changes being completely random, it seems like the patches are continuously being released to fix the accumulated problems one by one.
If it crashes nothing, you just buy an all and wait. Yeah, I mean, I do agree with the sentiment that Sugar games and invasions are going to get swarmed by bots. I think that's already the case, actually. Especially because some of them, right? One is it? I think this one... Yeah, I believe this one and like this one, like there's a couple that are like that give you the best reward by default, right? So bots are definitely going to be swarming these because you're basically guaranteed to get gold veil, right? Yeah. So yeah, obviously bots are probably going to invade these. Yeah, that's a given. Back then for Korean, because I heard that Korea don't have that many bots. Yeah. I mean that's what I mean, right?
One. First of all, it is true that the crafting system itself was a truly massive barrier. Anyone who crafted the Silver Energy Longbow back in Seasons 1 and 2 will know this. Everyone must have crafted it as if their life depended on it. It was practically like playing in a gaming cafe. You probably clicked craft with the mindset that if you succeeded, you would keep playing, and if you failed, you would have to quit. I have...
Yeah, exactly. And like, the fact that you have a craft, like the fact that you have the best weapon in the game, like currently accessible, be something like this is not good. So if this is the same in Korea, why the fuck are they keeping it like this? Because clearly you put something into the game that is making people quit. That is not good.
Spoken in extreme terms, but there were undoubtedly many people who crafted with that kind of mindset. In fact, there were a huge number of current town users around me who quit after failing to obtain a silver long while attempting to craft it, and I even saw a few of them in YouTube videos and comments right now. From the game company's perspective, they must have been constantly monitoring this data, and I suspect that their deliberation on how to mitigate this issue led to the direction of this patch, However, I think we need to wait and see a bit longer to see if this is a good direction for the game in the long run, or if it is a disappointing direction for existing users. One thing is certain. Currently, opinions seem to be very divided regarding the preservation of Silverlong's value. Personally, if I were to briefly share my opinion, I actually believe that it is only natural for RPG items to eventually lose value anyway, so I don't really have strong feelings about it. However...
Okay, well, he's just said however. I was going to say that's true, but not over the course of like 2 months, bro. That's too short. Now, that being said, with Horn Dragon gear, I think they should have fucking ripped the band-aid, made that shit significantly more reasonable to obtain, and then make that the blueprint for the future iterations. Because right now, Horn Dragon gear is still not right. It still isn't right. Now, granted, you can make the argument that the ship has fucking sailed, and it's too late for them to backpedal on some aspect, right? Like, I do think this shit should not have been a 50-50% success rate, but on the flip side, I think the orange crafting ingredient that comes from Sanctuary should have been a bound item. So this way, when you run Sanctuary, you're not only running it for the extendable weapons, you're also running it to get the orange bound item every week to work towards your crafted gear, right? I think that would have been such a better way to do it. Because right now, bro, if someone can just walk up to the auction house and buy full Horn Dragon gear, why the fuck would they ever interact with Sanctuary as a piece of content? It gives you gear that is worse than crafted. You know? They refunded billions before, it's better to just fix it in the back. The backlist not the same. Yeah, I mean, and look, at the end of the day, maybe their plan is to slowly, progressively make it easier to get, to not upset the whales, and then fix the next iteration of this craft. I hope that's what it is. I still don't agree with the process. Because Horn Dragon gear, even though it's a lot easier to get now, is still cringe.
What is slightly disappointing is that I felt quite strongly this time that the period of value preservation is too short compared to other games. That aspect is a bit upsetting. It means that eventually everyone will acquire the Applied King gear, raise their specs, and meet at the pity system. I'm actually a bit scared about how they'll manage to break through the pity system when that time comes. Since the inheritance system is currently very well designed, once you've crafted a Silverlong, finished tuning and enhancing it, and completed most of the necessary steps, the only way to upgrade your specs is to wait for the upcoming item, the Applied, Abandoned, Port, and craft it through inheritance. However, I don't think they will continue to rely solely on this one method of spec upgrades or just inheritance crafting going forward. Won't something new be added? I mean, maybe they'll suddenly introduce a transcendence system that allows you to break through a few more times after reaching plus F5.
Please no. Please no. Dude. This guy, no, don't do that. Like, I get it, dude, you're spending money to have capped gear, but dude, no. Be grounded for 5 seconds. Like, let's not raise orange gear to diamond 10, bro. Like, let's not do that. It's like you want to be the only one with Horn Dragon gear, that's why he wants to throw his cock around the world thing. I don't think it's this guy specifically. I think this guy is speaking on the behalf of other people he's been seeing complaining, right? Which makes sense to some extent. I do agree with some of it, right? But no.
And introduce transcendence enhancement stones or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, that's how it is. Yeah. Actually, none of that matters.
I'm gonna be honest. The entire concept of amplification should not even be in the game right now. This is the type of system you add like 2 years into the game's lifespan, and it's been available from day one. That shit is whack.
Since Nam Junhyung is the one deciding the direction of operations and patching, if you're satisfied by then, you can just keep playing, and if you're dissatisfied, you can just leave. So I don't think you all need to get too stressed out right now. Besides now, we're still having fun with the game, right? Since I'm gonna keep playing because it's fun, I'm gonna play with the mindset that good is good. So I would appreciate it if you could leave your thoughts in the comments. To anyone challenging the Yoongi Long, I hope you succeed on your first try. I wish you all great success in upgrading your specs and getting lucky. I'll be going now. Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I do understand some of what this guy is saying, but wow, he's how very Korean whale of him. You know what I mean? And you guys have to keep in mind, by the way, these are the videos that the Korean developers are watching. Mind you. What is the video about? I'm curious, share the link I just got here. Yeah, sure. I'm just looking through like some of the recent Korean videos to like hear about thoughts that Koreans have. This video is about the depreciation of Horn Dragon gear and how the game's gear progression is way too fast and way too unstable, which fundamentally I agree with, but I don't agree with everything that this guy is saying, per se. Yeah. Like, in my opinion, Horn Dragon gear should not function the way it is right now at all, right? And it should have been getting changed way more radically, even if it meant upsetting a couple of whales. But again, maybe they're just taking careful steps. Who knows, right? All right. Next video. I don't have anything nice to say about that guy. I think the mascot that he's using is like pretty cool. There you go. Yeah, I'll translate it for your videos. True.
Okay, hello. This is Gwangju. Today, I'd like to talk about
Hello, Gwangju. Okay, this is a small channel.
some aspects of Aeon 2 that I think could be improved. First,
Okay.
regarding the current situation and areas for improvement, my first problem is Kina. As I mentioned in my
Alright.
previous post about games, in all RPGs, there must be a balance between the in-game currency earned and the currency consumed. Otherwise, the game will fail quickly. Let me briefly give you examples of Maple Land and Lineage Classic.
Ooh, okay. Bad examples, but okay, go on, dude.
For instance, in Maple Land, most of the money earned from hunting is spent on potions. So while 1 million in-game currency was 3,001 a year ago, it remains fairly balanced in the low 2,001 range, even after a year has passed. However, in Lineage Classic, the only consumable item is potions. Yet, the Lineage development team is selling potions for real money, quite a lot. So a month ago, 100,000 Guan was worth 80,000 won, but now it has become worth 20,000 won. In reality, due to this situation, the in-game currency supplied and consumed must be in balance. That way, the currency
I'll
for
let this
tank
guy
items
cook
and
for a
such can be
second.
preserved, and even if there are still players, they will be able to adapt to some extent. If the game's economy collapses, players won't be able to survive unless they spend real money. However, Iron Tea is now at a level where there is virtually no money spent on consumables. There is the best topping, but players only used it for the first sanctuary or for last season's ranking grinding. Otherwise, they didn't buy and use it. Now that ranking grinding is said to be done mainly for cosmetic purposes, that will likely disappear as well. Therefore, in Aeon 2, the in-game currency accumulated through barracks and various content was significantly higher than the currency being consumed. So NC took various measures to address this. They slightly nerfed
That's not even close to being true, but go on.
actor efficiency, created engraving Kina, nerfed Abyss Kina acquisition, and added new sources of consumption. Crafting, in particular, saw the most significant impact. While there is material conversion, they introduced Kina consumption in unique crafting, specifically the Shang unique crafting, and significantly increased Kina consumption by making heroic items inheritable from daily items. Furthermore, the 100% crafting success rate for Marugi instant attack caused people to spread out their accumulated materials, and raising the blacksmith level to 70 dramatically increased the crafting success rate. As a result, whenever anyone logs into the game, someone creates an applied king every hour. It continues, and materials are constantly being consumed. The game company...
I hate this take on Permabro from enhancing gear. Yeah. And here's the thing, right? The developers have mentioned that there's too much Kina in circulation, but bro, I'm pretty sure the majority of the Kina in circulation comes from purely from bot and RMT, because they want to reduce the amount of Kina we get to reduce the Kina in the economy, but this is only fucking the people who don't swipe, because you just don't have enough money to enhance your gear after that, right? Like that's the thing. So these measures impact the wrong people.
officially stated that the effect was significant. The situation is currently quite stable, and they say the current level is only about 10 to 10% higher than
Games for Web 2 game 3 years ago, came out to Web 2 with Iron 2. It's crazy that people focus so much on real money conversion. I mean, in those games, it's inevitable, right? Because it is intimately tied to it. It's every game that has player power locked behind the in-game currency is inherently pay to win, even if the cash shop has no pay to win. Because in any game where the in-game currency can be used to get not like some of the best gear or enhancements or stuff like that, people are going to Armsy. Always. 11 times out of 10. So because of that, the value of in-game items immediately gets compared to Armsy value.
than they anticipated. So did they replace it well? I think they handled that part well. However, the fundamental problem has not been fixed. First off, I understand why the 108th unique crafting system was introduced. The Command King was the starting endgame for unique items. It was falling behind the Engrok system, but then they introduced the 108th system. From the game company's perspective, they stated numerous times on stream that they would absolutely prevent hero merchant crafting from unique items. However, they had to ensure that Kina was consumed. The intention was for even those using command items to spend Kina by crafting higher tier unique items using the one.
The gold 108 items are fucking useless, by the way. Like, let's be real for a second. No one in their right mind is going to craft this. Because, well, this has the same base attack as the Horn Dragon. Because you're losing the 5 levels of enhancement, and you're basically dividing your Soulbind stats in half because it's gold. This shit is worthless. You might as well just stick with a dungeon weapon and use your money to either get a Ludra weapon or work towards a Horn Dragon weapon. They inherently failed with the addition of this gear in the game. Because the only way to make this gear valuable, the Crimson Dragon set, was to allow us to upcraft Crimson Dragon into Horn Dragon. If you allow us to do that, then there's a reason to make it. Because then you have a staggered progression. And people have something they can work towards too, while also getting stronger every step of the way. But because we don't have upcraft on this shit is useless. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're someone in chat who is looking at this craft and wants to make it, fucking don't. Don't bother. My opinion might be outdated, by the way. I haven't played in a long time. Don't worry about it. In Season 3 and their changes have no Odell to run dungeon on ults. Why do they even add Conquest Ransom Cap when we can't get out at all? Yeah, exactly. The energy system either needs to go or they need to give us significantly more. There's not enough, right? There's not enough to go around.
108th system. To put it simply, if you craft 100...
Imagine using yellow items in Season 3. I mean, yeah, that's... The problem is that... And look, 99% of the fucking itemization problems they have in the game right now stems from how ridiculously powerful they made the orange soulbinds and stat scaling when enhancement. You know?
108th Yun item, but then go to hero, you get stuck. A situation like, don't you want to go to hero, could arise. Therefore, I think the structure has become such that once the 118th silver longcloth weapon is released, 118th unique items are bound to be released as well. That way, even those who went to the Hyun/Yong tier with the 108th item will think, oh, a 118th unique item came out, I should craft this top. And they will use Kina and materials again for that, thus consuming resources. However...
Okay, pull the poor people in chat. I mean, bro, I'm only using gold. With less bots in game economy would be easier to fix. Yeah, but the moment... Okay. The ship sailed about bots the moment they made the game free to play. With easy registration, with an in-game economy as powerful as it is. They shot themselves in the dick. Day one.
In my opinion, Looking at Aeon 2's current stance and direction, I think they will likely reverse their decision again.
With the next 5-star dungeon, you can go full heroic dungeon. You don't want to do that though. Like, orange armor is decent because the soulbind scale well, right? That's the reason why you want to use orange armor. When it comes to accessories, you're always going to want to prioritize using crafted over dungeon, even on orange gear, because the scaling on the enhancement on the accessories is nowhere near as good, right? But you lose half of the PvE damage boost, and then the soul binds don't matter because you're pretty much just rolling passive and skills. So for accessories, you're never going to run faded, like never. Yeah.
And allow video production to go beyond just crafting unique items. The reason for this is that a large amount of keys are accumulating within individual players and being transferred to smaller companies. They keep trying to fix this problem, but it just keeps going in circles. If this continues...
I don't understand the point this guy's making, by the way. Like, I've been listening since the beginning. I have no idea what this guy's talking about.
It won't be a fundamental solution. Therefore, to solve this problem, the first thing that needs to be done is to reduce the amount of keys produced in the game. I should have obviously addressed this about 2 months ago, when it was created, so I'm wondering why they haven't touched it yet. The last argument is a bit of a problem. You might say,
is it worth to treat Ion on current in Taiwan or rather royalty and global is out so long there's already? I mean, Taiwan is free to play. It's easy to install and jump into, so if you just want to get a taste for the game, you can do that, right? And the game is fun, right? If you're fine with hyping and you don't intend on like going hard into the game, I would say it's fine to contest it out. That being said, do not invest anything into Taiwan if you do that, because it's not worth it. As a region, it's a piece of garbage. Number two, right now this is mostly, the game is pretty early. Like the version we're gonna get on global is likely going to be strictly different. And number three, you will eventually abandon your character anyways. And there's no use in burning yourself out on the Taiwanese version before global comes out. So that's going to be you and what you want to do with the game. You mean skin out keys? Yeah, I get that.
I'm going to the final boss to save time and find it, so what's the issue? Such general arguments aren't the problem. The real issue is the rice-grabbing users and bot farms. First, rice-grabbing users and bot farms need to convert keys into real money. This is possible as long as they meet the entry-level requirements. Within a week, all accounts and characters are fully produced, allowing for the rapid generation of massive amounts of kina, with specs that normally make clearing impossible. Instead of using all of this kina, it is converted into real money. Of course, I don't think anyone would argue. If the users who bought this kina upgraded their own specs, isn't it
rice-grabbing users? I think he meant mercs.
Just spent? What's the problem? However, the in-game currency produced will inevitably accumulate among these people, and there is no guarantee that it will all be sold. Furthermore, those who purchased it will likely use their own odds to produce kina again, so ultimately, this needs to be stopped. That is why there will likely be people calling in regular users to voice their concerns. Regular users will be involved as well. In my opinion, the solution is simply to share the rewards. Regardless of that, if you give 300,000 kina for clearing rank 1, 400,000 for rank 2, and an additional 5.5 million for clearing rank 3, the bot farms wouldn't run out, but since they have to clear levels 1 through 3, the amount of kina produced per unit of time decreases. Also, the total amount of odd isn't an issue for them. They are just players who create formula accounts, level them up for a day, and only run the final bosses. Therefore, we need to lower their efficiency relative to time. This is the only way to lower that efficiency, just relatively. And for this, you just need to increase the gear rate per named monster from 3% to around 5 to 10%. You use it around 5% to 10%, right? Right now it's 3%, so they just beat it up repeatedly, but since a lot of people come, we're raising it to 10%. Oh, did this get to 5%? So I'm saying that it will take time here as well. Of course, I will use the meter, but...
Okay. I do believe the translation is a bit wacky, but correct me if I'm wrong. What this guy is saying is to gatekeep kina rewards from dungeons based on performance and difficulty to punish bots. Is that what he's saying? Maybe someone can read Korean in chat and maybe can read like this line a bit better, but I think the translation might be a bit wacky. But if this is what this guy is saying, we're gonna leave this video. Because I think that's what he's saying. Yes, kinda. He's saying to increase contribution required from 3 to 5, 10%. Alright, we're gonna leave this video. He's talking about carry runs. He's missing the point, is what he's doing. Not much Kina difference in dungeons currently? Yeah, because... I mean, the incentive for dungeons is not... Like, basically the Kina is supposed to be a baseline to support your enhancement, right? And then you actually, what you actually run the dungeon for is the rest of the rewards, right? Whether it's gear or it's cards or whatever, right? Korean has a long history of people farming currency to sell it. They need to increase Kina on hard dungeon, is what he's saying. Yeah, he's missing the point then. I mean, that's fine. Like, if you're going to do such a fundamental change, I mean, look, I'm going to be honest. They just need to tweak the way the balance between Kina given and Gimmick consumed is, and I think they actually need to fully lean into bound Kina. If they really want to kill bots, open world mobs should only give bound Kina, and dungeon bosses should only give bound Kina. Right? Tradable Kina should only be as a reward from doing actual endgame activity that bots don't interact with. But you should not gatekeep the Kina amounts based on the difficulty of the content, because you still want players with less gear and less time spent in game and so on and so forth to be able to spend that Kina on enhancements, right? So yeah, that's just not the correct approach, right? 8 Kina per boss 1 300k, boss 2 400k, boss 3 500k. Maybe we'll have to do 5-10% HP boss for contribution per boss. Okay, yeah. So he wants the Kina to be split on bosses the same way rewards are, basically, right? That's what it is, right? When that should people progression afoot since they won't be able to afford base crafted gear for a long time? What do you mean, the bound Kina stuff? I don't think it would. Like, okay, hear me out, right? Let's say you make dungeon rewards, right? You make the dungeon Kina, this all bound, but you make the bound Kina be account wide. Then all of a sudden, people are able to run as many ults as they want to farm Kina for their own progression, and it's purely locked to their own progression. Like, I think that would just be a better way to do it if they want to remove the bots from the dungeons, because they've been trying really hard. And like, at the end of the day, that's precisely why they put bound Kina in exploration as well as the early dungeons, right? Specifically because of bots. But now the bots are moving on to hard modes and stuff like that. What do you do with the Kina? What do you mean, what do you do with the Kina? You're spending on enhancing. The tradable Kina is only used for the market board. That's it. And I don't know about you, since the beginning of the game, I have barely used the auction house. How do you enhance without buying stones from the market? You get the majority of your stones from just playing the game. Like, I haven't had... Okay, I may have bought a couple of amplification stones, like the yellow ones, because I've had to enhance both PvE and PvP gear, right? But realistically speaking, I was also not running all of my subjugation on all of my characters. And also I haven't been running contracts now. And they could also just add more amplification stone sources into the game, right? You just run a few daily dungeons on enhancement stone as well. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the majority of your Kina right now is getting spent on enhancing your gear, right? So having the majority of the Kina in the game being bound is okay, in my opinion. Now, that being said, is it ideal? No. But the problem is, as I said earlier, the moment you give a high value to your in-game currency and you make your game free to play, your game is going to be absolutely riddled with bots and RMT. So they have two paths if they want to avoid that. Either they make the currency untradeable, the same way they did it in Throne and Liberty, right? Like all of your progression currency, which was Solent, was bound to your character, which is basically, okay, the way Throne is basically Kina was bound and Kuna was used on the auction house, right? So that's the other way to go about it. And then you just make a premium currency economy where anything that is sold on the auction house is sold for Kuna, which I genuinely think would actually be better than what we have right now, if I'm gonna be honest, because this way a free user basically just farms shit in game, like gear, enhancement stones, so on and so forth, sells it on the auction house for Kuna, and then trades it this way, right? And then they have an easier way to track the in-game currency. And the in-game currency basically is only used for trading and battle passes. And all of a sudden, it makes it a lot easier to track to ban people as well. So that's one way to do it. If they want to keep the economy the way it is right now, then they're gonna have to enforce bans a lot better, and they're gonna have to like basically make any low-hanging fruit Kina be bound. So that includes any Kina that is farmed from monsters in game, from both the open world map and the abyss, any dungeon that isn't the hardest difficulty dungeon, we need to be bound, right? It's a pure case of pick your poison. It's either you do that, or you'll make your in-game economy have no bearing on player progression, like Final Fantasy XIV, for example. There's just no other way, because otherwise, of course, your game is going to be fucking RMT bound, right? Of course, it's going to be entirely centered around RMT. And ultimately, it's not that much of a problem that it's that RMT bound, but you do need to make shit more easily available to players if that's the case. Because otherwise, you end up with Horn Dragon gear, and Horn Dragon gear is virtually only available to people who swipe, and the majority of people who get Horn Dragon gear are RMT. They don't even pay NCSoft. Right? I have an I-86 craftable I could get lootable next week. Is it really worth it? I can get spending that much cash on spending that might not be better. Also 5p different prefer. Loot weapon is always going to be better because the orange gear not only is going to basically like give you the missing PvE damage boost in raw attack from the extra enhancement and base damage, it's also like going to basically double the fucking soulbind percentage, which makes a huge fucking difference. So yes, always go Ludra over gold gear. Like, and obviously if you're free to play or you're sub only, you're gonna have to work on it like at a slow pace. Like it took me a bit to enhance its mace, but I got there eventually, right? High enhancement value on soulbinds, yeah. NCSoft found the unlimited money glitch for them. The Kina is tradable, so this will never happen. I mean, I genuinely think... Now, obviously, I genuinely think that the Kina exchange is making them money. I don't think it's making them more money compared to if Kina was just bound and the economy was Kuna-based. And I don't think they make more money from people swiping for Kina compared to the people paying the sub and buying skins, personally. Which, by the way, if you have a Kuna-driven economy, it would lead easier into the possibility of making the sub Kuna-based and global, the same way Throne was. In general, we can shit on Throne and Liberty all we want. Throne had the best balance when it comes to the way its economy worked for a free-to-play game. And it had almost no botting problem. like, Throne had a million problems, right? The economy was the one thing they got right. Now, that being said, Throne had other problem with itemization. Like, too many things were... Basically, most of the game was purchasable in the auction house. That's something they have to avoid, right? But Iron 2 already has stuff like dungeon gear. It has PvP gear. It has a bunch of stuff that you have to go and get yourself. So if you add a Kuna economy with bound Kina in a game like this, I think it would work a lot better. Like with metal, AP, so on and so forth, right? So yeah. And also Throne was incredibly free-to-play friendly because of that. I think they want to avoid a failure of their previous game. TI was for sure the most free-to-play game played, had 8 Arbus weapons. Yeah, same. Like, I never spent a cent on Throne. I never felt incentivized to do so. And I had biz gear at all time. I had Eclipse. My guild had the control of the castle, etc., etc. Like, Throne had a million problems. The economy was not one of them. So yeah, if they really want to win the fight against the bots, this is probably the best way to go about it. But yeah. Alright, let's continue. Let's watch one more. Let's see if we can find one more. This is 7 days ago. Let's see. Do we have anything with a good thumbnail? Is this the PowerPoint guy? Oh, it's the PowerPoint guy. Okay. The PowerPoint guy.
Okay, today, although I filmed a video...
This guy like plays a bunch of games and he generally makes good points. So let's see what he has to say.
In a similar format last time, the item tempo was way too fast.
Yeah.
I believe the situation has become much more serious since I filmed that. Since I filmed this before the situation became extremely critical, I will try to approach it in a similar way. So first of all, how bad is it? For those asking, hey, how bad is it? Why are you making such a fuss? I will bring in a few transaction records. Okay, first of all, how...
That's the video where he says Soulbind is easy.
How much was the Silver Dragon at the end of January and the beginning of February? It was 3 to 4 million won, but how much is it now?
I mean, okay. We'll see exactly what he says. Soulbind is easier than it used to be. Soulbind is still the worst system I've ever seen in any game ever, though. Let's not get it twisted. It's a pile of steaming garbage, and whatever developer came up with it needs to be crucified.
It hit 400 to 500,000 won. However, in just over 2.5 months, it is now in the negative, almost 80% of its peak value, 80% to 88%. And as for the Rudra bracelet, it originally hit 3.5 million won.
I mean, the Rudra bracelet is craftable now, so... Which is funny, by the way, because that other guy was talking about Horn Dragon gear, right? Dude, do you know how much fucking money people were paying for BOE Rudra bracelets on the auction house? And now it's 20 million from a craft.
But how much is it now? It is currently around 300,000 won. But it's not even 300,000 won. Because actually, you all craft them with 20 million kina. So
do you think removing the PvE flag would help with the bot situation? No. They're just gonna find something else. I think removing the PvE flag would help the rifting situation. But that's a bit unrelated.
So 20 million kina is currently worth about 35,000 won. That's about a 99% drop. Lupa. So this is really showing a legendary sense of speed right now. Besides that, I will show you some of the easing that has happened so far. Okay, first of all, regarding unique tuning, until January and February, the price of unique items kept fluctuating between 300,000 and 330,000 kina. It even hit 400,000 kina at one point.
Yeah,
but
same
the
here.
value of unique items was maintained to some extent. So how did they do that? They used heroic items for tuning, and then used Philosopher's Stones for tuning as well, so they kept using them. But what happened when Season 3 came in? Well, prices were dropping even right before Season 3, but Season 3 just delivered the final blow. Why? These unique items were changed to unique tuning stones, and by converting 3 of those into heroic items, the tuning required for heroic items, which originally needed 10 unique items, now only requires 3 plus 700,000 kina. As a result, tuning became incredibly easy. Furthermore, with the addition...
Okay. I see what he's saying. Okay. Obviously, soulbinding orange gear is very easy if you swipe now. Because now you don't have to brute force 10% anymore, plus getting your soulbind. Like that shit was crazy. Now you can literally just like buy gold gear on the auction house, convert them into soulbind stones, and then convert those soulbind stones into orange soulbind stones, which means that right now I think, okay, it's like 80k for a piece of gold gear, right? Downloading iron right now. Is it hard to find a setting for English language? Nah. There's a setting on the purple client, and then once you're in game, it's in miscellaneous, and it's these two. Yeah. Let's see. I think it's like 80k. Yeah, 90k, 90k, 80k. Yeah. See. So basically, the one orange stone, you're looking to spend like 950k per reroll, which it's a steep price. If you swipe, it's basically nothing, and it's a lot better than it used to be, right? Because back then, gold gear was like 400k a piece. You were gambling the 10%, and then you were gambling the soulbind on that. So you were basically spending like tens of millions of kina for one soulbind stat. Whereas now you're probably going to be looking to spend like at most maybe 10 to 20 million kina per line on an orange piece of gear if you're going the full swiping route. So in that sense, sure. But I mean, you know, it's very Korean of him either way. And look, ultimately, you can also cheat it because let's say you buy a piece of high commander gear which has 5 soul binds. You can just get a piece of Star Dragon gear, which basically costs nothing now, right? You get the perfect soulbinds with that, with gold orange soulbind stones, which actually rolling soulbinds on gold gear is very easy now. Even though the system is still like absolute shit from an ass, it is easy because they give us like infinite amount of stones, right? So you get the stats on that, and then you inherit it into the orange piece of gear, the 20 mil, and then that's that. So every stats. So in that sense, yeah, it's if you wanna go this route, yeah, it's much easier.
Addition of succession.
1 minute for roll to 25 stats noise. Yeah, that is one thing that is really fucking annoying. Like just to get one orange soulbind stone, you need to like go through 50 steps. But I mean, they have a lot of those like systems within systems which they genuinely need to like calm down on this shit. It's the same stuff with potential stones, by the way. But yeah, anyways.
Heroic items have become absolute pushovers. The difficulty has dropped significantly. The tuning difficulty for heroic items is now massive due to succession. Now, wow, crazy wow, we're moving on to the David Neon side. Originally, in Season 2, Ariel's price maintained around 100.
Is he gonna talk about the shit I talked about earlier? I swear to God, I haven't watched this video.
120 to 150. It stayed around that level, but then, when they started dropping 6 per week in the pre-awakening raid, the price began to drop slowly. It started dropping gradually from then on, but now, what happened when Season 3 came in? In Season 3, if you complete the season missions with Buse and clear everything up to Stage 4, you get 24 Ariels. They are still giving them out in the weekly missions, and besides that, they are also giving them out in Hugo's growth boosting. They are also handing them out like crazy in the past. They are
okay, in the case of Ariel build, I think they waited long enough to start easing up on them, right? Because most people were basically done with the build by the time they started handing them out, right? They basically waited like over 3 months before they started making Ariel build easier to obtain. So I think for that it's fine. For Marchitans though, that shit is crazy.
Basically giving away over 100 of them. So right now, the price is at a level where they are only charging for the cost of materials. Right, regarding Markutan, it's been about a week or two since you all graduated from Markutan, right? There are probably some of you who haven't graduated yet. I haven't graduated yet either. I mainly ran expeditions, so I haven't graduated from Markutan yet.
My Marchitan is more filled in my Ariel build. Yeah, Marchitan is insane.
So what are they doing?
And it's funny, by the way, like you notice how the build that doesn't have any free-to-play tied to it, doesn't have any pay-to-win tied to it, got filled much faster than the other ones. Fucking... Dude, Asphalt build found dead in a ditch, dude.
Doing now that it hasn't been long since I graduated. They immediately started a double event. That isn't the end. They are just handing out Markutan like crazy in season missions and the Hugo Growth Pass. So, just a week or two ago, it was the endgame item. But right now, they are giving it away like crazy. Now, the Vanguard, which has absolutely no merit, at least there was a ranking system where the advanced party could feel the growth. But what happened to the ranking system now? Since the ranking system had quite a few problems in Season 2, what did they do about it? They said they couldn't fix it, They said they couldn't catch it. They said there was no method.
Marchiton was supposed to be released at the start of Season 2, yeah, like you still? Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if it was supposed to. I think they wanted Marchitons to be specifically something that was incentivizing you to keep running Transcendence after you were done with cards. And that was supposed to be the Transcendence Dungeons like thing. But then they ran into the problem of people complaining about the fact that they can't run regular dungeons anymore for Philistones because they have to go for Marchitons. So they put Marchitons in the regular dungeons as well. And then all of a sudden it broke the balance, right? And then they were like, you know, fuck it, just fucking give Marchitons more to everyone. Yeah, whatever. And now that they're doing the use steal in the dungeons from the get-go. Because that didn't work out. But again, it's a case of them not realizing that the problem wasn't the fact that Marchitons was getting incentivized in Transcendence. That wasn't the problem. I think that was actually a pretty good game design, right? Because this way, if you wanted to go for Orange Gear and Philistones, you run Conquest. If you want to go for Marchiton's World, you go for Transcendence, right? The problem is we just don't have enough fucking energy. That's the problem. We need to have enough energy on our mains. And thank you for the follow, Pizza. We need to have enough energy on our main to be able to max out one of the dungeon type and still run a couple of the other dungeon type. This way, you're not completely committing to one dungeon type, right? You are focusing one dungeon type and you're still making progression on the other dungeon type. Or you can balance both, right? But we just don't have the energy to do that. Because if you think back to the way it was when they released Marchitons, then you would have people... You would be able to full send your Marchitons to progress your stat and still do a couple of conquests a week to roll the dice on Philistones and Orange Gear. But you're not able to do that. And if you don't full send Transcendence, you're falling behind on Marchitons. You know what I mean? Like, and now we run into the same problem again, where we just don't have enough fucking energy to roll shit. So now you have to run everything into the dungeon to get your Useals board. And if you are still missing cards, or if you run something else, you're just fucked. That's just the inherent problem. They need to like give us more energy. Well, there are two options for the weapon in the weapon selection chest. Two options for the weapon in the weapon selection chest. Oh, you mean the morph? It's because there's the bound version and the tradable version. It's part of every mobile game.
They said they lacked the ability. So what happened? They just removed the ranking system rewards. And let's all become Challenger 1 together. What a beautiful world. Let's all hit rank 1 together. And then Season 3.
Damn, this guy is fucking upset about that, you can tell.
The current ranking system still offers absolutely no rewards. They just don't give titles. And what are titles? They have no effect whatsoever. Now, the new expedition, the Corridor of Illusions...
50 kuna for 40 Odell energy coming. Brother. You're a few steps behind. That shit is already in the game.
...has been released. But you don't really need to go for the hard difficulty. Why? Because it gives the same amount of Kina. It gives the same 1.4 million Kina. It gives the same amount in normal and hard. But there is a difference, of course. First, the Philosopher's Stone. There is a difference with the Philosopher's Stone, but if you focus on either PvP or PvE right now, you've already finished one of them. Usually, if you play solidly, but even if you play general purpose, you farm a lot of Hyunchung, so Hyun isn't that urgent anymore. Now let's talk about the USTL difference. The USTL difference is indeed the biggest. But what is this? They give you another 100 USTLs in Season 4. They give you 200 anyway. They'll just ease it up when Season 4 comes around. It's 100% certain. I'm certain of it. I can bet on it. I can bet my entire fortune. Absolutely not on this.
Dude.
Now, while there is a difference in heroic item drop rates, you can still get them even if you just run normal, unless you have really terrible luck. And now, Sanctuary. It's Sanctuary after all. Well...
Okay, so for dungeons, he's saying that there's no incentivized to run hard mode over normal mode. Basically. Because it gives the same amount of Kina and it gives everything else just like a bit less. I kind of don't agree with that. I think it's fine the way it is. Because at least new players and people with like lesser gear are able to progress on the same stuff. They're just like slightly less likely to get stuff, right? So I don't think there's much of a problem with that, personally.
high-tier items drop in Sanctuary anyway. What is the real advantage for high-tier players? This Sanctuary is where you get the Embers of Erosion. But do you really need to go there? My character, Amegus, just hit 360k, and I could go there if I wanted to just farm chests. But I'm not going. Why? For one thing, it gives the same parts as Rudra. They sell weapons like this, but if you guys have already obtained Rudra, do you really need to get the Erosion? Of course.
I mean, the thing with erosion is that it's basically... I mean, yes, of course you run erosion. Is this guy fucking stupid? Dude, you run erosion for a couple of reasons. Number one, the bracelet is BIS. It's the only bracelet with damage boost. So of course you're going to be running this. Like, dude, it's not even a fucking question. Number two, it's equivalent. It's almost equivalent to the Horned Dragon Guard. Like, the guard is almost equivalent to Horned Dragon because it's the same eye level. You just lose one soulbind, right? So let's say if you don't run precision because you don't run accuracy, it's basically the same thing, right? You're just losing a bit of PV damage boost. So for someone who doesn't buy crafted gear, this is an obvious like no-brainer. Third of all, extendables. Bro doesn't understand that extendables for melees in PvP are fucking insane, but whatever. And finally, it's additional Kina. You get, I mean, he was literally just complaining about the fact that dungeons only like give the same amount of Kina. Bro, Sanctuary uses the same amount of energy and gives you like twice the amount of Kina, like even 3 times the amount of Kina. Like, what? Sanctuary is like the one thing that's valuable in the game. Now, there's one thing I will agree on. It's the speed at which they're releasing the fucking Sanctuaries. With the same slots of equipment. Because, dude, I have 2 Ludra bracelets in my bank right now. I have 2 of them. I'm never gonna fucking use them. Why would I use them? They don't have damage boost. They're barely an upgrade to my corroded bracelets. And if it would be additional like transfer mat if I was to transfer into corroded. Like, it came out too fast. By the time I got my first Ludra bracelet, the second Sanctuary was already here. By the time I got my Ludra weapon, the second Sanctuary was already here. That is one thing that is, I mean, again, it's like the game's progression is too fast.
You will become stronger if you get it.
He's saying that's what's the point of getting corroded. In a month, a better gear will come out with a new Sanctuary. I mean, okay, I can agree on that, but saying that you have no reason to be running Sanctuary right now is outlandish. If you're telling me that you have no reason to upgrade the Sanctuary gear, then okay, I can see that. But you do have a reason to run corroded. Ludra, on the other hand, not so much. But Ludra you run because it's easy to run. Try to log in. I need a phone number to verify now. Does it matter if I don't tell them? Yeah, the phone number thing doesn't matter. You will need a VPN though. Does anyone know how extendables work for range classes like Sork? It just gives you longer range. I think it's 4 meters. I think it's 4, right? I mean, I can just test it. Of course, I'm in the only location in the game without a 50 million mobs. 2 meters? Is it 2? I feel like I'm able to hit people from 24 meters. Okay. To be fair, the range display is like fucking inaccurate like most of the time. Sometimes I'm able to attack people from 29 meters. Ooh, cube. Alright, 1 second, I'm getting sidetracked. Hold on. Stopping playing Taiwan where you get global if you are too geared? No. Because Taiwan is worthless to begin with. Here's the thing, right? If you are intelligent, you don't invest any money or anything into Taiwan. Because you will be dropping your character and Taiwan will always be the worst version. Because ping matters so much in this fucking game, right? That you will never want to play on it once you touch global. Okay, yeah, it's 2 meters. Yeah, 2 meters extra range. I thought it's Mother Familia both get same range. I mean, the thing is, it's a bit hard to tell sometimes because, as I said, sometimes the range displayed is a bit wacky. And also, if you're getting hit by a melee and you're kiting, if you have high ping, obviously you're gonna get hit from further because you're lagging. It still baffles me that range gets extended. I mean, it's not like it's very useful to begin with, to be honest.
There is a 10 level difference. The weapon even has a bit of a level difference. But anyway, what is it? After another month passes, Sanctuary 3 comes out. Then, if a level 118 weapon drops in Sanctuary 3, you should collect it. Erosion. since you are changing it anyway, going straight from Sanctuary 1 to Sanctuary 3 actually saves a little on inheritance costs. Inheritance is a bit of a hassle too.
Okay, I understand what he's saying. I fully agree that the speed is egregious considering it's the same slots. That being said, you're always going to want to run all 3 sanctuaries anyways, because the drop rate is so bad and there's no pity that you just run all of the sanctuaries you do, and then whatever the fuck you get first, you're going to run it. Because the drop rate is, you know, is what it is. Medias have 20-meter skills as well. They get 2 meters as well. Yeah, I mean, ranged classes don't really like get much out of their range anyways in this game when it comes to PvP.
But here is the
PvE
surprising
do, but
fact. If
not
Sanctuary
PvP.
3 comes out this time, what is it? If you think about Sanctuary history, there is no reason to go again. Why? Because more weapons will drop in Sanctuary history anyway. It's just a waste of money to spend on magic stones again. But what is Sanctuary history anyway? You just go to Sanctuary 5 and that's it. So, I mean, if you get it once and use it for about 3 or 4 months, or 5 or 6 months, you might farm with a happy heart. Hey, a tempo of 1.
None of the range classes have cast time on non-mobile scale. Yeah, but none of the range classes can land at fucking CC, so... them's the break, right?
1 month, 2 months, or at most 3 months. That's a bit excessive. And right now, you don't even need to go to Erosion. Why? Well, Rudra's rewards have been increased 6-fold compared to the initial Rudra.
I mean, look, okay. If this guy is saying this to tell the devs, make Sanctuary more valuable and stop releasing the same fucking Sanctuary gear on the same slot every 2 months, 100% agree.
It has now received a 6-fold reward boost. So do you guys really need to go to Erosion right now? Anyway, once Sanctuary 3 comes out in a month, the Purification Scrolls for Erosion will also get a 6-fold boost, so why go now? You can just wait until it gets 6 times the boost and
They have cast time and some non-mobile skills plus 0 CC. Yeah, but so do melee classes. Like, essentially, there's no difference between melee and range right now in-game, in the playstyle, other than the fact that melees can CC and range can't.
go. They're gonna make it super easy.
I hope they make Sanctuary 3 Heroic Belt Amulet. I don't think so, because I think they're keeping this for Outland and Morheim seal dungeons and so on and so forth. I think we're just going to get more of these as exploration content on the new maps. But I mean, they could just do something different, right? They could also just make it so we get upgrade mats to upgrade the gear from the previous Sanctuary, for example, right? But then again, I just think Sanctuary should be way more delayed in between each other. How much cost to transfer to Ludra weapon? If you mean from gold to orange, it's going to be 20 mil, 1 orange totem, 5 gold totems.
By then anyway. So there's no reason to go. Now,
Is it still worth to sub still and play, or just wait for Global? My stuff is ending. I don't know if I should continue. I mean, that's up to you. That is entirely up to you. If you're still having fun with the game, then yeah. If not, then you can just drop the sub and just keep casually playing the game. Like, I will say right now, you don't even need a sub. Because you only get enough energy to run 35 times if you have the sub right now. So if you don't run the sub, you can run 35 times here and 28 times here, and you will get the same amount of Kino. Like, because you have enough energy to like run basically this amount of dungeons per week on your main. Obviously, you're going to be playing the game more, but at least you won't have to be paying for a sub, and you'll still be progressing. So if you're undecided, that's something you can do right now.
Regarding PvP, the situation isn't easy right now either. PvP is actually really serious. In PvE, at least the item meta doesn't change much. Even with the depreciation, if you spend money once, you still end up using it. Well,
Are you
it
still
sucks
subbing?
when a new
Yeah.
passive is added to Belpharo every now and then, but that doesn't happen that often. Okay, but the problem is that the item meta in PvP changes too drastically with every patch. For instance, with the recent launch of Season 3, and the addition of amplification to Abyss items, the Dragon Knight build is still viable, but its cost effectiveness is absolute garbage. Honestly, equipping a Dragon Knight in PvP right now, excluding the Shanghai build, is just a sucker move. The cost effectiveness is simply terrible. In fact, I don't really recommend the Shanghai build either, because you never know.
Yeah, I mean, see, I don't even necessarily disagree, right? Like, the piece of armor, Horn Dragon gear, with the current like way PvP gear is, like, most people are upgrading into Tribunus and High Commander, and now there's also the potential system on top of that. Like, if you're gonna be making Horn Dragon gear just for PvP, it's not worth it. Now, if you're making Horn Dragon gear for PvE and you happen to be using it for PvP, and then you don't want to like spend the extra cost, then okay, sure, that's pretty cost effective. But otherwise, I don't think there's much of a difference in terms of like PvP gear and orange gear outside of the weapon. to be honest. Like, and again, I've been saying this for a while. The main problems with PvP stem from the ping and the balance, not from the gear.
Know what they might do next. They might add amplification.
I should add, it doesn't stem from the gear directly. The stat scaling in the game is fucking whack.
Or something. They
But
might
that's on any
add
piece of gear.
transcendence and mess things up. If the current light user
I spend my seasonal magic breath or demonic guard, I'll get 2 ebony accessories to finally have all offensive crafted gear. Get Looter Guard with the pity system. Looter Guard, you can't get a Looter Guard from the pity system, but if a Looter Guard will be better. Yeah, it will be.
who find using Dragon Knight uncomfortable start feeling uncomfortable again, then even Silver Dragon Knights might suddenly become unusable.
But then again, you can just craft your crafted guard and then transfer that into whatever orange guard you get eventually. So that's up to you. But I would say finish your crafted accessories, highest priority.
And Transcendence could be introduced. As for Garters, the Centurion Garter currently deals higher damage than the Silver Dragon Garter, especially for weapon garters. With the sudden addition of the Legion Commander's enhanced weapon, and the PvP amplification being 10%, and weapon garters getting even higher, the meta is changing all over again. Okay, and now stats are a problem too. Regarding stats, evasion is buffed, block is buffed, and critical hit is dropping these days. Since the meta is now focused on willpower, I tend to rank them somewhat high and medium. It's basically like that, but what I mean is, every time there is a patch, Soul Tuning and Magic Stone Understanding keep changing. Even with stats, the meta shifts every time players learn through adventures, because they didn't properly understand the calculation formulas in Mystery. Especially recently, it's been no damage increase and no damage. I mean, since it was recently discovered that no damage increase is calculated based on defense, no damage increase and no damage have become the meta in PvP. This might not be the end of it. You guys might discover another new fact, like how critical damage increase calculates this and that. Or they might say, we've discovered a new fact about damage increase, and then the meta changes again. We don't know. We keep experimenting, but people don't know. It's too complicated. The calculation formulas are so complex
like, that's the reason why, with the way the PvP meta is, like, especially if you're a sub-only or free-to-play player, like, just commit into a build and just fucking stick with it for a while, because they keep changing. They keep changing how stats work. We keep discovering like how stats interact with each other, right? So like the meta is gonna keep fucking changing. Like it's just like when, because of a 1 week patch, every assassin shifted away from evasion into glass cannon, and then 2 weeks later evasion was meta again. And then you're like, you just fucking rerolled all of your genius and all of your gear into another build, even though evasion was completely fucking fine. You know what I mean? So yeah, like whatever. Again, as I said, biggest problem in PvP right now stems from ping and class balance anyways. So there's a couple of like overbearing stats, like again, evasion and block right now are completely OP. It is what it is, right? So if you build into these, you will be powerful right now. But will you be powerful next week? That is my question to you.
They can't understand them, so the meta could change even without a patch, simply because new facts are revealed through experimentation. It's just a legendary situation. That's why the meta keeps changing. For PvP, you have to deal with the Dragon's Breath. So now potential breakthroughs have been added to dungeon items, corrupted gear drops from expeditions for all parts, and as I mentioned earlier, the drop rate for Rudra has increased 6-fold compared to the beginning. Also, the price of Silver Dragon's Breath is dropped.
Here's the last problem PvP has. It's all about balance of stats, balance of skills. Yeah, the main problem with PvP right now is they balance the TTK, but they didn't balance the rest of the kits. So obviously, some classes like end up being completely overpowered, especially because they added a bunch of crutches into the game to try and fix PvP with the old TTK, and then they kept those crutches on when the new TTK came in. And that's why you end up with a situation where you have assassins that self-reset insignia over and over and over, that have a 5 buff dispel every fucking 30 seconds, right? While being able to build infinite evasion. Like, yeah. That's why, and those are the problems. The gear is not. And then on the flip side, you have stuff like, at the beginning of the game, evasion was OP. So they were like, we're going to buff block. And then now they finally buff block to be on the same pace as evasion. But now block is too powerful too. Because the point wasn't, what they needed to do was not to make block function the same way as evasion. What they needed to do was to nerf evasion and slightly increase the efficiency of block to make it a viable stat, just like crit res, for example. But instead, now we have 2 overbearing defensive stats. And then all of the other defensive options just chug mega balls, right? So it's a balancing act. But the gear inherently isn't the problem. It's specific stats as well as specific aspects of certain classes.
Dropping by 10% to 20% every week, and there is no merit to it. Top-tier rewards are being eased anyway. So the point is that regular users don't have Dragon's Breath, even if it is endgame gear. What is better to do? It's better to just equip corrupted gear, equip a Rudra weapon, go to Rudra, equip it, and just keep your mouth shut. Even if you just breathe, you'll wake up and think, oh, let's see how much Dragon's Breath has dropped today. It broke the 500 million mark today. But then you go to sleep, wake up, and look, oh, today it's 450 million. Then you really go to sleep, wake up, and look, oh, today it's 400 million. It actually happens like this. The price is dropping by 10% every single day. Right now, the price goes down by 10% just by the time you wake up. So there is absolutely no reason to try to match this. Ultimately, consumption and growth have stalled. But why is this a problem? I believe it is a fundamental issue with MMORPGs. Why do people play MMORPGs? It is to grow and farm. That is what makes it fun. People who want pure gameplay enjoyment play games like AOS, RTS, or FPS.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? By the way, I'm gonna sidetrack here. This is precisely every time I have someone that comes into the chat or in any chat and is like, oh my god, man, they're making this game into a grinding simulator. Man, I should be able to just log in and play the game, man. It's a fucking RPG. It's a fucking Korean RPG of all things. Get the fuck out of here. They don't have to adjust the game around you. I'm not going into a, I don't know, FIFA live stream and complaining that there's no RPG elements in it. It's a fucking football game. You're not supposed to be enhancing your fucking shoes to be able to shoot the ball better. So don't ask a fucking RPG to remove RPG elements.
But the fun of an RPG lies in the growth aspect. However, while depreciation mitigation is certainly necessary for an RPG, it is currently ridiculously severe. Digging for resources is also part of the fun of farming. That is the fun of farming. Harvesting rice is also part of that fun. So the point is that average users have absolutely no reason to grow. The depreciation is just too severe. Top-tier rewards offer...
Yeah, this I can agree on. Like, if we just look at it from a perspective of you take the same systems, but you make them run the course of at least 6 months to entice people to run stuff, and you balance the distribution a bit better, then obviously it would be a lot more enjoyable, right? Especially if there's no swiping aspects to it. Like if you take the Marchetons board, I think having a slow building Marchetons board, which is purely bound and is purely tied to Transcendence, I think is okay, right? But they just like backpedaled and they just give it for free. So, and they keep doing this, by the way. So, and with Sanctuary, it's the same thing.
For no merit whatsoever, key rewards are the same anyway, and high-tier items keep coming out every season. You can just make money by inheriting the same equipment slots. Eventually, drop rates will be multiplied 6, 10, 20, 60 times, and through events and free services, they will be eased anyway. So for high-tier content, it's basically going to be infinitely eased anyway. As for ranking content, the cost of buffs is ridiculously high, but now there are no rewards either. As for PvP, the meta changes are just insane. It's incredibly difficult to keep up with the meta.
Yes, 100%. And this is why they need to fucking settle on something, dude. Like, they just need to fix the core problems and just fucking let it ride. Like, we finally somewhat had an understanding of how people were supposed to build gear, right? And then they buffed the block. And then they increased the attack cap. Like, why? Why are you doing this?
Seriously, PvP is just hopeless. So the point is that right now, the only top-tier players left are true Aeon 2 lovers. That means the people who are still spending money are really respecting. Well, since I'm a streamer, I do spend money. But honestly, among regular users, those who continue to invest right now are people who truly love this game. How much do they love it? I keep investing because I stream, but I'm making a profit. At least I'm making a profit. Now, for users in the Greater China region, if they just take it slow, everything will be eased. And depreciation is 50%. Ah, that's legendary right now. So right now it's 10% per day. There has been a 10% daily depreciation since Season 3 started. This means there is no need to spend money. This shows just how severe the depreciation is right now. This was a year ago with Lost Hearts. A year ago, Lost Hearts was incredibly hot regarding depreciation. This screenshot was taken during the Lost Ark content session last time, so the Lost Ark balance was maintained for a year. If you look at this graph, it stayed consistent from September 2023 to September 2024. It stayed consistent for a year. The gold value is preserved along with it, but then everything suddenly came out, and from September 2024 to May, that is, 70% vanished over 8 months. It hit exactly 70%, 80%. So how much is 70% or 80%? 70% disappeared over 7 or 8 months. But what is Aeon 2 doing now?
Yeah.
It dropped from 80% to 90%.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I mean, when you look at it like that.
This is truly unbelievable. Lost Ark was making a huge fuss about this for a while too. It was a real legend. But the Dragon Knight is still being preserved along with everything else. People are still saying that while Lost Ark took 70% over 7 or 8 months and did that legendary movement restriction thing inside the cigar barrel, here, people want to sell after just 2 or 3 months. This place is truly a legend right now. So,
man, this previous slide, like this one, if someone joins the stream right now with the stream paused, they're gonna think I'm looking at like a fucking finance guy. Like, there's nothing that screams Iron 2 on this.
this place is truly a legend right now. So in the end, it's infinite easing, infinite communism, top-tier rewards with no merit,
infinite communism, dude.
What is this all about? It is something NC intended. Why did they do this? Because they need to accept Ubisoft. Because they need to attract new players. But I have a doubt. Is this really an influx? I don't think so. This game is still...
I mean, I don't think this is bringing players in, but like they just need to inherently change a bunch of stuff with the game. That's the thing, right?
Total pain in the ass to get new players. Rashomon is just on the level of a total lunatic. Last time, when Edo Yubi asked the question, I looked into it point by point, and there is simply no answer. Seriously, there is no answer to Rashomon. I analyzed this one by one with the viewers, and wow, it still isn't easy. So the point is that the current easing is just too severe. Those users still said they liked Season 2. Yes, in Season 2, they kept spending even if it meant smashing their heads in. But what is it now? Because the easing keeps happening, they aren't investing anymore. It just gets eased if you wait anyway. The price isn't even dropping by 20% a week. Right now, it's hitting around -40 to 50. Everyone is currently becoming a Kina producer. Everyone is Kina Zaya. You know how there's been so much talk about Chanho dropping in price? There are things like the Hugo Double Dimension.
I mean, yeah, I can see... I mean, I think I got the point of this video. Like, I can imagine that a bunch of people are looking at Season 3 right now, and they're just like, let's just not fucking play the game. Like, let's just, like, do the bare minimum, just stack fucking Kina and wait for Season 4 to spend all of it. Because anyways, everything in Season 3 is going to be useless by the time Season 4 begins, right? And I get that. Now, that being said, the question is, are they doing what they're doing right now to just, like, get all of the gear progression they had on Season 1 out of the way, to get everyone on an even playing field, to then have a better figured out gearing situation by the next season, by the time they reach the next step of the game, right? I hope that's the case. And I hope they reach that point, they go slower with the gear progression, they go slower with the content release, they give enough time for people to cook, even if the balance isn't the best, at least there's not a meta shift every other week, right? And this is what we ultimately get in global, right? Because right now it's a little bit ridiculous, for sure. Yeah.
But the biggest problem is that there is no demand. There is no demand.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, good racked. Good racked. But I guess I can just link it in the chat, right? If you guys want to watch this for yourself, or watch the PowerPoints of this guy, go ahead. But yeah, inherently, when it comes to the game, they just had a certain vision with the game before the game came out, with the balance between PvE and PvP that didn't end up working out because people actually wanted to do PvP. Surprise, surprise, this is an Ion game, and people wanted to do PvP. So they had to turn around and try to fix PvP, and they've been like stumbling their way through up until now. And now they've dug themselves into a fucking hole. So yeah, we have to hope that the patch on the 22nd and any further patches will actually address some of the major problems, to not necessarily fix PvP, but at least bring it up to a certain standard where it doesn't look like a fucking joke. That being said, they're going to have to do a lot outside of just PvP. Because a lot of the problems with PvP stems from problem with the stats themselves. There's too many extremes. There's too many stats that either... Like, PvP is basically either you are completely fucking invincible or you just demolish the enemy, right? So they need to find an in-between. They need to calm down with the stacked offensive stats and with the defensive stats that just completely deflect damage, right? And they need to go away from perma-CC classes, and they need to give back range to ranged, and etc, etc. So we'll see what they do on the 22nd. I have big hopes, but I'm afraid I'm going to be disappointed, but I guess we'll see. And when it comes to the economy situation, again, what were you expecting? Tradable currency in game with power tied behind that currency is always going to lead to people swiping and bots and RMTs and so on and so forth. So we'll have to see how they do. They've been limiting and locking and reducing access to stuff patch after patch after patch, which has not impacted bots at all. It has only been impacting players. So at some point you kind of have to take a look at this and be like, okay, fucking throw the towel and either kill the economy as a whole or just make the economy be similar to Throne and Liberty. I guess we'll see. Either way, I still have big hopes for the game, right? But yeah, this week has not been fun for sure. So I'm really hoping that next week will be a bit better. Sanctuary will release just a few pieces, not a full set, like Nathar and New Dungeon. Yeah, they need to do it progressively, and they need to not release a new Sanctuary every 2 months. And part of the thing is they need the power creep to be much slower, because the Season 2 Sanctuary is already power crept, right? Which is why we need a new Sanctuary. Like, the gear progression, the gear replacement, the power creeping, the class buffs and everything is like way too fast. And that also stems from how insanely overbearing the stats are, by the way. Like, we need a stat squish, we need some stats to just go. We need some stats to do less. We need some stats to be less radical, right? We need to... Basically, the game needs to scale back, because it's only been 4 months. But all of the power creep and everything in the game right now, it feels like the game has been out for 5 years. So if they keep going like this, where is the game going to be like 1 year from now? 2 years from now? So yeah, hopefully they realize that and, you know, they hit the brakes a bit and they pull back. But that's going to require nerfing some stuff. That's going to require upsetting some people. But I do hope that they are willing to take a look at the game and realize that that's the necessary step they need to take. But yeah, either way, guys, it was fun, I guess. I hope you guys enjoyed the react and the discussion and everything. I didn't really have a plan for today because, as I said, I've basically run out of things to do for the week, and seasonal grind doesn't exist anymore. So what can you do? Anyways, I initially intended on streaming tomorrow as well. I don't think I'm gonna do it because, truthfully, I just don't have anything to stream in the game right now. So I'm probably just going to be working on a video tomorrow. And on Tuesday, I'm probably going to be doing a short stream before maintenance so we can discuss the dev live. Yeah. And then after that, you know, same old. I'll be doing my patch note video when the server comes up, and then I'll be doing the guide for the new dungeon, and then I'm probably going to, considering how major the balance patch on the 22nd is, I'm probably going to make a follow-up video on that and give my thought and what I hope to see for the game after that. But yeah, either way, I'm going to be done for today, so thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow the channel on both Twitch and YouTube if you haven't already, and don't forget to join the Discord to be aware of my whereabouts. Who knows, maybe I'm gonna announce the stream tomorrow. Ooh, surprise, surprise. But yeah, for the time being, thanks for watching, thanks for the follows, thanks for the prime, and I'll be seeing you guys late on Tuesday. GG's. Stream for Gifty? Stream for Gifty? Finger crossed for the patch? Yep. Exactly.